dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day. If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that.
West Virginia taking on the Smithsburg Blue Crabs coming out of Smithsburg, Maryland. It is Babe Ruth Baseball coming your way on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10. I'm Matt Miller along with Gary Geffert. John Alderton is running our TV10 camera. Patrick Feely is our studio engineer. Gary, always good to be together with you as we get a chance to talk baseball. We've done a lot of high school baseball as that season winds down. A special opportunity to call some Babe Ruth baseball here tonight in what is being dubbed as the backyard brawl. Could have been a border war maybe as well, you might say, between West Virginia and Maryland.
Yeah, it is fun. I think this is just the second year for the Babe Ruth League in this area, and they're building up. And tonight what we're going to see are two teams that are easily the best two teams in the league. You've got the Battlers are 10-5 overall, 9-2 in the league. Their only two losses are to the Blue Crabs. And then the Blue Crabs are 16-6-1 overall, 14-1 in the league, and their only loss was to the Battlers here. So that ought to be a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. If you're not familiar with Babe Ruth baseball, it began in 1951, specifically designed for young men between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. Now, over 1 million players are participating on over 60,000 teams. They added softball to the mix in 1984, and they also have divisions in Cal Ripken baseball, and that go between the ages of 4 years old and 12 years old. Well, we are getting ready for action to get underway. Before an introduction to the starting lineups, we'll have the national anthem. Let's take a 1-minute timeout, and then we are back with Babe Ruth Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10.
Same thing.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
And we welcome you back into Municipal Stadium, getting ready for today's matchup with Smithsburg and Little Falls. Young guys that we are looking to see on the high school level in the coming years. And for Smithsburg, I'm imagining most of these players will end up at Smithsburg High School. As far as Little Falls, in talking with their head coach, Steve Everhart, many of the young players that we're going to see today will play their high school ball at either Hedgesville or Spring Mills, where this particular Little League, or in this case, Little Falls Babe Ruth system is set up.
Yeah, Coach Everhart, of course, is from Hedgesville area, and he's coached their fall ball teams, and he's he's coached Little League in Hedgesville, and he's coached Legion, and he told me that next year would be his 40th year coaching at various levels, and now he's doing this team, and he's coaching his grandson.
He must have started at about 10 years old, right?
Close to it, I think.
There you go. Well, it is Little Falls who will be the home team, and they have taken to the field. Towing the pitching rubber is Tanner Matthew, beginning his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Smithsburg Blue Crabs. Leading off for them and doing the pitching will be Matthew Walker. He's followed by the left fielder Jay Peterson. Batting third in center field, Ryder Johnston. The cleanup hitter is first baseman Nick Horst. The number 5 hitter and catcher is Ryan Peterson. Batting sixth is the extra hitter. Isaac Grove in Babe Ruth baseball, as opposed to a straight DH, you have a chance to actually bat 10 while playing 9 in the field, and so Grove serving as today's extra hitter. Third baseman Lucas Ward will bat 7th. The number 8 hitter in right field is Henry Ortiz. Batting 9th is the shortstop Preston Givens, and batting 10th, second baseman Gabriel Walker. The bottom of my scoring sheet is definitely going to be interesting. Not used to seeing a 10-man batting order.
You almost need a softball book here. What are those for where they have the extra hitter in all the softball games? Or a short fielder?
We will set up the lineup batting-wise for Little Falls when they come to the plate in the bottom half of the first inning. Right now we set their defense. We mentioned Tanner Matthew on the hill. Mason Everhart is behind the plate. Tyler Cover plays at first. Jackson Engel is at second. Caden Compton, the shortstop. Jared Custer, the third baseman. Stephen Roche is in left field with Landon Wallace in center, and Jacob Kendall in right field. A very spacious field for these young players. A ball into a gap somewhere in the outfield can roll a long way with the dimensions 335 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line, and just to the right of dead center field is 380 feet. And when you look at where the outfielders are going to position themselves in getting the game underway, there is a lot of territory behind them should a ball get behind an outfielder.
Yeah, there's a lot of territory and a lot of difference even for older high school kids. If you see the when they go either play at minor league stadium for the state championship series, the outfielders have a hard time figuring out where to play.
Matthew Walker, today's opposing pitcher, stepping into the right-hand batter's box. We are just about ready to go. Tanner Matthew on the hill, the right-hander, 3-2 on the season, a 3.11 ERA. And the first pitch in there for a called strike, and our opening pitch coming at 6:58.
Tanner Matthews pitched in all 3 of the games that these two teams have played before, and with some efficiency.
Swinging away, here is a pop-up, foul territory off the first base side. That one bouncing off the warning track and heads out of play, and the count at no balls and 2 strikes.
And he's pitched fairly well. He's in those 12 innings, only given up 8 hits. Gave up 7 runs, only 2 of them earned, struck out 10, and walked 4. He's got 2 losses and a no decision in the third outing.
The 0-2 pitch going to miss high. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Walker. You've got to imagine for this age group at 13 to 14 years of age, it's a little challenging to be able to make the transition to the longer base paths and the longer distance between the pitching rubber and home plate as Walker backs out of the way of this one that misses inside. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I remember I coached a junior league team and had a lot of kids just coming up, and there were lots of adjustments. Balls that used to be base hits into the outfield were now little pop-ups to the infield.
And the 2-2 pitch taken by Matthew Walker. It is in there for a called strike 3. A good-looking pitch from Tanner Matthew for out number 1.
The other play that is particularly challenging is for the shortstop because that is the extra 15. That's 45. Yeah, the extra 45 feet on the baselines makes that throw from shortstop a long throw. It's like the throw from left field for little leaguers.
It'll bring up Jay Peterson, left fielder, number 2 hitter in the order for the Blue Crabs. They wear the patriotic socks with the white pants, white jersey tops. Looks like almost a gold texture camouflage, if you will, in the numbers, and then some blue trim. First pitch missing for ball 1. Peterson awaits, and the next delivery just down low had the plate. 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, up higher than I'm used to being with you here, and it's that the up and down part is really hard to judge up here.
2-0 is the count. A swing and a miss. Now at 2-1. Good pitch from Matthew as it worked a little away from the left-hand batter.
Peterson, a pretty good hitter, hitting .351 on the year.
Here comes the pitch. That one just missing for ball 3. Peterson has walked 14 times this season to 13 base hits. So he has been very patient at the plate and is showing that patience here as he takes a pitch inside for ball 4. So Peterson draws the 1-out base on balls. It will give Smithsburg a runner. For Tanner Matthew, walk number 11 on the season.
And this is a team that both teams like to run, but these Blue Crabs especially, there's still 189 bases this year, only 5 thrown out. Peterson is 6 for 6 in stolen bases.
He's got a pretty decent lead as Cover holds him on. There's the pitch, running on the move, and the throw down, and it will not be in time. Sliding in feet first, Jay Peterson has the stolen base. That pitch to Johnston, a little up and in. That is ball 1. That's a long throw for the catcher.
Yes, it is, especially for a 13-year-old kid.
So a ball and no strikes to Johnston. He's hitting .362. A little over midway through this season. Swing and a miss as the count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. No score. We've got 1 down with a runner in scoring position at second base. Top half of inning number 1. The count holding 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes that delivery, fouled into the netting, just down below us. Count now at 1-2. When the Suns are here, that type of a ball coming back can be very hazardous to those within this press box, or when we're here for the TV 10 camera on the perch outside, they get up here much more quickly.
Yeah, should have had Matt Crawford's first base glove.
He is at Ocean City enjoying himself this holiday weekend. 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. The ball was down in the dirt. Trying to apply the tag was Everhart. He'll now have to turn and throw to first. First baseman drops it. And the batter is going to end up being safe at first, and Peterson was able to go from second to third. I am just a little bit surprised that Johnston is able to go to first base when you consider that as he struck out, he went out of the batter's box turning towards the dugouts, and then in realizing that the ball had been in the dirt on that third strike and Everhart tried to tag him, he went around the backside of home plate and then down the line, and we've got 2 umpires going to get together and talk this one out.
It looks like one of the umpires is a volunteer fill-in here, the home plate umpire, just by looking at the uniforms, and he's wearing shorts, and the base umpire's got pants. He ought to be out for running out of the baseline, but they're not going to call him out.
I was going to say, that's what my thought would have been as well. And that apparently was a question coming from the Little Falls dugout, but they're going to rule no, that it is a third strike wild pitch in the dirt that ultimately will allow the base runner or the batter to reach. And now the first pitch to Nick Horst, that one in there for a strike, and Ryder Johnston will take second base without the benefit of a throw.
Yeah, at this level, nobody throws through with first and third because don't have the arms to make the throw back. They will in a couple of years, though.
So the count at 0-1, and here is a called strike 2 on the outside edge. 0-2 in the throw back from the catcher to pitcher. Gets by Tanner Matthew. Good job by Jackson Engel, the second baseman, backing up the play, fielding that ball in the grass behind the mound and holding the base runners. Gary, I'll ask your thoughts. As Johnston reached on the third strike, it was a ball in the dirt. As the next pitch to the plate gets fouled back, count holds 0-2. But the throw down from Mason Everhart was there in time, but Tyler Cover did not handle it cleanly. Would you almost rule that a third strike and then an error that actually allowed him to reach?
I think so. That's an E3.
So Horst will await, and here comes that 0-2. It's low and outside. Good backhand stop by Mason Everhart, keeping that ball right around home plate and holding the base runners. 1 out in the inning. 2 on, and both are in scoring position. Horst a .455 average, no homers, 15 driven in. Pitch on the way to him, sharply hit but foul outside of that third base bag.
There's an Everhart tradition of catching. I think it was Mason's uncle, Justin, who caught for Hedgesville for years.
Yes.
And then caught at Legion, and not pretty good catcher and a real good hitter.
The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch is due. Horst with that front foot shaded down that third base line, then pulls it back in as he looks to stride into the pitch. He takes this one low and away. Counted 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tanner Matthews seeing that pitch count rise a bit here in this top half of the first inning. And now that 2-2 on the way. That one works off the outside corner. Count has gone full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, walk here not the worst thing in the world because they give them a force play at home, which they could probably use.
Here comes the payoff and a swing and a miss. He got him. It looked like he may have taken a little something off that pitch as Tanner Matthew had Horst out in front. The strikeout will be the second out of the inning and the third strikeout for Tanner Matthew. Could he have the rare feat of actually striking out 4 in an inning?
Maybe so.
He's got the chance facing Ryan Peterson, and he'll swing through. Strike 1.
And I think he was chasing the pitch there, a little anxious. Wanted to get hit to drive the run in. You know, it's strange to see where the outfielders are playing here. They're playing junior league depth here. But
pitch working down low and outside. Count now at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Nobody's holding anybody on, which wise move. Everybody playing straight away. Right fielder is playing deeper than the center or left fielder.
Here's a pitch that stays high. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Ryan Peterson. He's hitting .342. No home runs. He's got 15 runs driven in on this season. That is through 23 games. Pitch just up and in on the 2-1, 3 balls and a strike. And Tanner Matthew not missing by much.
Nope. Got the third baseman hugging the line a little bit there.
3-1 on the way. Swing and a miss, pardon me. That was apparently a 2-2 pitch, and Peterson swings through it, and that is strike 3. And there you go. Tanner Matthew does complete that feat as he will get 4 strikeouts in the inning. One of those reaching on a wild pitch and an error. He walked a batter as well. The Blue Crabs had runners at first and second with just 1 away, but unable to punch a run across. We've got a half an inning in the books, and we'll take a 1-minute timeout with your score. Smithsburg 0, Little Falls coming to bat.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
We welcome you back into Municipal Stadium. No score as we go to the bottom of the first. Let's set that batting order for the Battlers of Little Falls. It is Caden Compton, the shortstop, in the leadoff, followed by the second baseman, Jackson Engel. Batting third baseman, Jared Custer. In the cleanup spot, pitcher, Tanner Matthew. Batting fifth and catching, Mason Everhart. The number 6 hitter at first base, Tyler Cover. Batting seventh in center field, Landon Wallace. The number 8 hitter is left fielder, Stephen Roche, and batting ninth in right field is Jacob Kendall. On the mound, wrapping up his warm-up tosses, Matthew Walker, and he is ready to go with this bottom of the first inning. Gary, he comes in 2-0 with a 1.25 ERA.
And he has not pitched against the Battlers yet this year. And that's the first time they're seeing him.
Compton, a right-hand batter, stands in and takes a strike on the outside corner. Let's set the rest of the defense for the Blue Crabs. Ryan Peterson is behind the plate. Nick Horst at first, Gabriel Walker at second. The shortstop is Preston Githens. Here's a pitch, just missing. 1 ball, 1 strike now that counts. You've got Lucas Ward at third. Jay Peterson is in left. Ryder Johnston in center. And Henry Ortiz, the right fielder. Compton swings through that 1-1 pitch. Now at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This kid throws decent for 13-year-old.
Tall, kind of lanky on the mound. Comes back with a 1-2 that was up in the strike zone. And Compton goes after it. Swings right through that pitch. A strikeout, the first out of the inning, and strikeout number 10 on the year for Walker. It'll bring up Jackson Engel, second baseman, number 2 hitter in the order.
Walker hasn't pitched a lot this inning, only 6 innings.
Here's a fastball fouled straight back into the netting for strike 1.
And only gave up 2 hits in those 6 innings.
Yeah, and just 2 runs and only 1 earned. Now 10 strikeouts, but has also issued 8 base on balls. But you got to imagine you're going to see some walks in this league as these players make that transition to the greater distance from mound to plate. Pitch to Engel, works inside, may have been a bit low as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Look at the gap in left center field right now. Clearly, the Blue Crabs not expecting Engel to get around on a pitch. Boy, good-looking breaking pitch, snapping across the plate for a called strike 2.
Well, both these teams give up some walks. I've got the Battlers giving up on average 7 1/3 walks a game and 6 1/2 being given up by the Blue Crabs.
The 1-2 fouled again, back to the screen. Count holding as Engel able to fight off that pitch. That one, again, a bit up in the zone, but it was borderline.
And Engel's hitting .500 on the season. He's got 14 base hits and 28 at-bats, and scored 15 runs, driven in 16. So.
Righty-righty matchup, and that 1-2 pitch works up and away. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And both these teams score a lot, too. The Battlers average 10 runs a game. The Blue Crabs, 11.1.
On the 2-2 pitch, it's down low and outside. Gets away from the catcher, Peterson. It's a full count, 3-2. On the other side, though, Gary, these 2 teams, as the top 2 teams in the league, don't give up a lot of runs.
No, they do not.
The Battlers, 6. The Blue Crabs, about 5 a game.
Yep.
The payoff on the way, and that pitch misses high, and there is ball 4. And in the words of Yogi Berra, it is deja vu all over again. Look back at your score sheet to the top of the first inning that started with a strikeout and a walk, and now the bottom of the first begins the same way for the Battlers.
Yeah, and I think we can look for young Mr. Engel to run.
Doesn't have a real big lead as Horst holds him on there. Jared Custer is the batter. The runner holds as the pitch to the plate is high and outside for ball 1. Peterson, the catcher, pulled the arm back as though he might throw, looked it down towards first, but did not make a throw.
Well, Engel's stolen 15 bases so far this year.
The 1-0 on the way. He stays again as Custer chases this one a bit high and off that outside edge. The swing and the miss, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he hasn't been caught stealing. The Battlers have stolen 94 bases in their 15 games this year. He's going.
He stays again, and a swing and a miss at the 1-1. Count 1-2 now to Custer. 1 down, 1 on, no score. Bottom half of inning number 1. Awaiting that 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Again, the runner stays, and the pitch is cut on and missed, and Custer is down on strikes on just 4 pitches.
He just kind of waved at that one.
2 outs in the inning now for Tanner Matthew. Matthew, today's opposing pitcher, batting in that cleanup spot. A right-hand batter, crowds the plate. That front foot is actually on the white line that represents the batter's box.
And Matthew's a .600 hitter.
First pitch was in there for a strike, and now the 0-1 is due. Walker working from the stretch with that runner at first. Again, the runner stays. Nope, now he goes to the delayed steal, and the throw down. It's in plenty of time, and they got him at second base. Engel going in on the head-first dive, could not avoid the tag of the shortstop, Preston Giffens, who was able to pull in that throw from Ryan Peterson and apply the tag for the outs.
That was a nice throw, too, right on the money.
Yep, and in plenty of time, and the caught stealing is going to bring the inning to a close. There was a walk with one out in the inning, but with the caught stealing, the Battlers go in order. One inning in the books, and it is Smithsburg nothing and Little Falls nothing.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Scoreless as we go to the top of the second inning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for Smithsburg, facing Tanner Matthew in the start for the Battlers. We had him at 25 pitches in that first inning, 15 of those for strikes, no runs, no hits. There was an error as one of the strikeouts on the third strike, the pitch hit in the dirt. And as the batter eluded Mason Everhart, his throw down to first was dropped by Tyler Cover. Ultimately, 2 runners were left stranded, and both were left in scoring position in that first at-bat for the Blue Crabs. It's turned out to be a beautiful evening for baseball. We had a little question of a storm system moving through the area earlier, but thankfully that avoided Hagerstown. We had only a couple of raindrops that kind of hit as we were outside, and right now our game time temperature under partly cloudy skies, 75 degrees.
It is. It's pretty nice. The wind has died down. It was a little windy when we first got here. I had papers all over the booth.
Isaac Grove to get things started in the first pitch to him, working low and outside, ball 1.
Now you're talking about expecting walks, and at this level certainly I've looked that the Battlers have 23 more runs than they have hits on the season.
Swinging away, here's a pop-up in behind the shortstop, moving out on it and making the play is Caden Compton. Looked like an outfielder going straight back and then making that kind of over-the-shoulder grab to retire Grove.
That was a nice play. Didn't backpedal, ran back and got it. So, but the more amazing differential is that the Blue Crabs have 90 more runs than they have hits on the season. They take a lot of walks, steal a lot of bases. Get hit by a pitch. Lucas Ward now the batter. 1 down, bases empty. He swings, pops it up right in behind home plate. Will there be a play for the catcher? And yes, there is. Everhart making the sliding basket catch on the warning track for out number 2. I thought I was going to have to grab you by the belt there for a minute, Matt.
The only way to see that one from our vantage point, to stand up and lean out, and that was a great play by Everhart, who went straight back, and as he got to that crushed gravel warning track, went into a slide like he was sliding into a base, stuck the glove out, palm side up, and made the catch. Brings up Henry Ortiz, who takes strike 1. He bats with nobody on, and now 2 outs in the inning. Put a little star by that one in your scorebook. The 0-1 pitch missing. Now 1 ball, 1 strike to Ortiz, the number 8 hitter in the order.
And, that looked like one of those pitches where if the catcher is able to catch it cleanly, he gets a strike call. Just couldn't quite handle it.
Here comes the 1-1 delivery. In on his hands, he fouls it back just to the right of our broadcast position. That one hitting in the netting and then scooting down back towards the field of play.
Closing in on you, Matt.
Counted a ball and 2 strikes. The lights are on, but it'll take another inning or so before they take effect. Here's that 1-2 pitch, missing outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'm questioning whether our pitcher on the mound, Tanner Matthew, is in any way a relation to Jamison Matthew, currently on that Hedgesville baseball team as the Eagles get ready to go to the state tournament coming up on Friday. Henry Ortiz fouls the 2-2 back into the screen. Count remains. Hedgesville claiming the regional championship this past week as they swept the best-of-3 series against Jefferson. So the Eagles making their way to the state tournament to face Hurricane in the semifinals next Friday. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, hit in the air pretty well into that gap in left center field. A long run, and the center fielder won't get there. Wallace coming together with Roche as the center and left fielder go out to get it. And by the time Wallace can pick it up and get it back in, it's a double for Ortiz, his 3rd double on the season. And with 2 outs, the runner is in scoring position for Smithsburg.
I thought at first that the center fielder Wallace had a shot at the ball. Looked like he was going. It just seemed to tail off to the left field side a little bit. Overthrew the cutoff man, but it didn't matter because Ortiz was in standing up by the time ball got in the infield.
It brings up Preston Githens, and the first pitch to him on the inside corner. That is strike 1.
Githens hit 282 on the year. He's got 13 RBIs.
That comes on 11 hits. He's got a chance to bring in another as he swings and fouls this pitch back out of play. Count at 0-2. Let's see if Tanner Matthew can get that out pitch. He had Ortiz at 2 balls and 2 strikes when Ortiz doubled deep to left center with 2 outs. And now the 0-2 on the way here. It's a sharply hit ball. That one's into left field for a hit. Roche coming in on it. He's got it and will not throw to the plate. He'll hit the cutoff man, and it will be an RBI base hit for Preston Githens. His 14th run batted in on the year. It scores Ortiz, and Smithsburg takes the 1-0 lead.
I was surprised. The left fielder came up with the ball. Looked like he didn't quite know where to throw it. He double pumped and then just lobbed it into the shortstop. And the third base coach, who I think is Coach Peterson, waved the runner in.
We have time that has been called, and apparently a balk on the pitcher. Time was called as Matthew went into his motion, and now our base umpire is talking with him about coming set and holding. He did not hold for that second before making that pitch to the plate, and so the balk is going to move Githens into scoring position at second.
And now you got the second baseman way over towards second, running back towards first now.
Brings up the number 10 hitter in the order, Gabriel Walker, and now the first official pitch to him. He fouls back for strike 1. Yes, you heard me right. Hitting number 10 in the lineup as Babe Ruth baseball, allowing for the extra hitter. So you can, rather than DH, give all 9 guys in the field a chance to swing the bat, but also add a hitter to your lineup as well. Walker's playing second base. He fouls that one straight back towards us. Count now at 0-2. And Matthew's been very solid getting ahead of the hitters. Gary, his issue's been finding that out pitch.
Yeah. And on that pitch, you saw Preston Githens was on the move. He had third base stolen. Yeah, this is a number 10 hitter in the order. He's hitting .333 and is tied for the team league in base hits with 17. Not a bad guy to have in the last position.
The 0-2 is due. Here it comes. A swing and a miss. He got him. I worked that one off the outside corner. Gabriel Walker helped him out by going after it. 5 strikeouts now in the ballgame for Matthew, and that's a big one as he sets down the side, giving up just the run on a 2-out double to Henry Ortiz, and then the 2-out RBI single to Preston Githens. We'll go to the bottom of the second when we come back with the score, Smithsburg 1 and Little Falls 0.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
It's a 1-0 lead for Smithsburg as Little Falls makes their way to the plate, bottom half of the second inning. This is the 4th meeting this season between these two Babe Ruth programs. They will play a 5th time in the final game of the regular season. That is scheduled for June 12th, and that one to be played at Spring Mills. This Little Falls system using the Spring Mills girls softball field for the younger players and the baseball field for the older players in the league, as the Babe Ruth League, Little Falls Youth Athletic League, open to kids ages 4 all the way up to 18. Tanner Matthew to get it started. He was at the plate when Jackson Engel was caught stealing to end the first inning, and the first pitch to Matthew in the dirt, ball 1.
Tanner Matthew is second on the team in hits. He's got 17. The leader is a leadoff hitter, Caden Compton, with 24.
Fastball lifted in the air, foul territory, first base side. Catcher and first baseman coming together, and a little miscommunication. A last-second diving attempt by Ryan Peterson, the catcher, but off his mitt. It drops in as a foul ball.
And Peterson was way up the first baseline. That's really the first baseman's ball. He's got to go in and take charge of that, because that's a hard play for the catcher.
Oh, and one may have been calling for the other to take it. And ultimately that miscommunication led to the ball dropping. Now Matthew ducks out of the way of the 1-1. Now at 2 balls and a strike.
You know, that's one of the things that they teach still teaching at these levels, how to take charge, how to call, who's got what. And that's a lesson that takes years to learn.
Mason Everhart due next, then Tyler Cover here in the second inning for Little Falls. 2-1 pitch inside to Matthew, who gets out of the way of ball 3. Again, a big gap in left center field. The left fielder Ward shaded a little towards the line, while the center fielder Johnston is playing almost directly behind the second base bag. The 3-1 pitch has missed for ball 4. Tanner Matthew draws the base on balls. Leadoff base runner for the Battlers.
And that must have been down low, because that was right down the middle of the plate.
So that will bring to the plate Mason Everhart. Everhart, a right-hand batter, squares, shows bunt, but pulls back and takes one up and in, glances off the mitt of Peterson, but the catcher able to keep it close enough to hold the runner at first.
And I think Tanner Matthew saw him pull back his bat and retreated towards first, and that's why he couldn't get to second.
A ball and no strikes to Everhart. He takes on the outside corner for a called strike here, and this time did not give an indication that he would try to bunt.
Now, Tanner Matthew has 10 stolen bases on the year. It's been caught twice.
Everhart has 13 hits in 40 at-bats. That's a .325 average. Now squares around and shows bunt, takes the pitch outside and low. Snap throw behind the runner at first, and the tag from Horst a little too late as Matthew went back in standing. Should be 2 balls and a strike now to Everhart.
Coach Steve Everhart playing a little small ball with his grandson.
Everhart's got 17 runs batted in, one of the leaders on this team in that category. Pushes the bunt up the first baseline, but foul. And that was a very hard bunt. The first baseman scooping that one up in foul territory, but almost right directly in front of the first base coach.
Yeah, and I think Grandpa's going to have a talk with him about giving yourself up on that bunt.
Got to imagine he'll swing away now with the count 2-2. The runner at first, a very short lead. He'll stay put. Fastball in on his hands, a swing and a miss. Everhart down on strikes. 3 Ks now for Walker, lifting him to 12 on the season. 1 down with a runner at first for Tyler Cover. Strikeout number 9 on the season for Everhart in now 41 at-bats. So Tyler Cover, first baseman, number 6 hitter in the order to the plate. He takes high and outside for a ball.
Cover comes in at 263. He's got 10 hits on the season. One of those is a double.
Yeah, no home runs. You kind of measure the power numbers, if you will, I think, at this level with those doubles.
I think so.
The 1-0 delivery. This one lifted foul back over top of the press box, and you may hear the crashing noise as it hits the roofing on the grandstand here at Municipal Stadium.
And you can't get those balls back, at least not easily.
I know Gary is wanting to pick up a few of those on the way out.
I am indeed, but I think I won't hop over that fence.
What do you think of the spiral staircase as the 1-1 pitch on the way? This one popped up on the infield. The pitcher coming down about halfway between the mound and the plate, looking up into the sky, makes the grab for out number 2, and Matthew has to hold it first.
He hit that one straight up the elevator shaft. I think the spiral staircase was a good group, but I'm not big on it as a practical device.
Landon Wallace, center fielder, number 7 hitter, coming up now for Little Falls. 1-0 Smithsburg, leading bottom half of the second inning. Wallace, a right-hand batter, takes a pitch that stays high for ball 1.
Young Mr. Wallace comes in hitting 250 he's got 8 singles on the year.
Looking to keep this inning going for the Battlers, down by a run.
Tanner Matthew, not much of a lead.
Swing and a bouncing ball back up the middle. A backhand stab by the pitcher Walker off that front slope of the mound. He steps and throws to first. It was wide of the bag, but Nick Horst, a nice job to come off the bag in foul territory, catch it, and then go back and tag first base.
Yeah, he did. He didn't do what some young first basemen will do, is try to keep that foot on the base when there's no need to and stretch out and then miss the ball. Went and got it. Good play.
Nice play. And after the leadoff walk, Little Falls unable to advance the base runner. A strikeout, a pop out, and a ground out bring the inning to a close. 2 innings in the books with your score holding Smithsburg 1 and Little Falls nothing.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Along with Gary Geffert, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our TV10 camera. Patrick Feely, our engineer and producer, back at the studio. Hey, big shout out to Jim and Jen Presley with the Little Falls Babe Ruth system, and also to Casey Walker, who is the GM for the Smithsburg Babe Ruth League. Thanks to them for helping to set this up, but also getting us involved. Steve Everhart giving us the call and the email several months ago, and then been able to work together to be able to get this special night at the ballpark on the airwaves at Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10. Neat opportunity for these players and for 2 young leagues. Gary, you mentioned in our pregame show just the second year for this Babe Ruth League in Spring Mills. It's just the third year in Smithsburg. So young leagues that are doing a good job.
Yeah, giving more kids a chance to play baseball, and that's a good thing.
Matthew Walker to get it started, top half of inning number 3 for the Blue Crabs. And the first pitch from Tanner Matthew, outside, ball 1. I love the nicknames. The Blue Crabs. Although I do have a question. When you go to our Facebook page and look at the poster that they made and sent us to help promote this game as the next pitch misses up and in, 2 balls and no strikes, you'll notice that the Blue Crabs have a lot of purple in them as opposed to blue when you look at the color tones. I did like the color, but they're more purple crabs than blue crabs. And that's coming from a part colorblind man. So count now, 2 balls and a strike to Matthew Walker. He is 0 for 1. Struck out looking at a 2-2 pitch back in the first inning. Stands near the front of that batter's box. His back foot about even with the point on the back of the plate. And then when he steps forward, actually strides right out onto the front line of the batter's box. He fouls the 2-1 pitch back. That one hitting off of the edge of the grandstand roof, and then back down it went. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Matthew Walker comes in hitting at 250. He's got 10 hits, a couple of them doubles.
13 walks to 8 strikeouts, so it's been really good with his eye at the plate as he takes the 2-2 off the outside corner, and it's a full count.
Well, this team is pretty good at taking walks. They have, where do I got it here? They have 137 walks on the season. That's 6.5 walks a game, and they've been hit 31 times.
3-2 pitch. Oh, a foul tip that glanced off the mid of Mason Everhart and went through to the backstop.
So when you take a look at that, they've got 189 free bases in their fifth. That's an average of 9 a game that get to trot down to first base without any chance of getting thrown out.
Which is how you score 11 runs a game, which is what they average. Here's one that gets fouled, a straight back again towards us into the netting. Down below the press box. Count holds full, 3-2. Nice at bat for Matthew Walker, as the next pitch will be the 8th in the at-bat. Really making Tanner Matthew work hard to try to get this out. 1-0. Smithsburg on top of Little Falls. Top half of inning number 3. Game scheduled to go 7. 3-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, low and outside. That's ball 4. Second walk allowed by Tanner Matthew. Gave up a 1-out walk in that first inning. Ultimately left that runner stranded at third as Smithsburg left 2 in scoring position in the first. They left another in scoring position in that second inning, although they did play to run. Thanks to back-to-back 2-out hits, a double from Ortiz, and then the RBI single from Githens.
Matthew Walker's second on the team with 24 stolen bases.
And he has a very big lead. There he goes on the very first motion from the pitcher, and the pitch in on the hands of Peterson, and he fouls it off for strike 1. And Walker's going to have to go back to first.
He had it stolen.
Yeah.
He has not been thrown out yet this year.
Let's see if Matthew will pay any more attention to him than that last pitch, because Walker was literally on the move before Matthew ever even started into his delivery. And there goes the runner again, and on the pitch again, it's bounced foul. This time right down into the front foot of Jay Peterson. It rolls up the third base line about 15 to 20 feet, but it is a foul ball as it hit off the foot of the batter. Count 0-2.
Going to wear him out, running back and forth.
He's young. He can handle it. It would wear us out. John Alderton is laughing. He's going, he's worn out just watching through the camera lens.
I got one more trip before I'm watching him.
Peterson drew a walk back in the first inning. Steps back into the left-hand box, awaiting that 0-2 delivery. There goes the runner again, and the pitch down and in, gets by the catcher, goes all the way through to the backstop, and holding at his second will be Matthew Walker. He'll still get credit for the steal. Not really a wild pitch because he was off with that pitch to the plate.
He had that stolen.
Yeah.
Got action down in the bullpen. I can't quite see the number.
I see a 14 on this end.
But that's the catcher.
Might be a 16 on the other end.
Yeah, I don't see a 16 as doing any pitching.
Swinging at the 1-2. Here's a pop-up towards the shortstop. Caden Compton back and to his left, right at the fringe of the outfield grass and the dirt infield. He makes that catch, and Peterson is retired. That's a pop out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning, and Matthew Walker has to hold at second base.
That may be Jacob Kendall down there, number 5, but I can't tell.
I see a Chase Herndon listed on the roster sheet that we were given as we get a pitch to the plate, a fake on the bunt. I don't think they're going to count it as a strike, and the runner on the move able to steal third, getting in ahead of the throw. I believe it's going to be a ball and no strikes on Ryder Johnston as he steps back in.
I didn't see the right hand go up.
The 1-0 delivery, there is a swing and a miss. Now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnston, a strikeout victim in the first, but reached on a wild pitch and then an error on that third strike. 1-1 with a runner just 90 feet away, 1 out in the inning. Matthew delivers just low and outside. Now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the damage was done in that second inning with 2 outs. The leadoff walk to Walker, hurting Tanner Matthew right now, as a pair of steals have him at third with 1 away. And the 2-1 pitch just off that outside corner. Everhart drew it back in, but you could see the glove move just enough that the umpire wasn't going to bite.
Yeah, Ryder Johnson is tied for the team league on the Blue Crabs with 17 hits. And he's driven in his share runs, too.
Yeah, 14
of them.
He's got another one 90 feet away, but not going to get an opportunity as the 3-1 pitch is down low and outside. That is a base on balls, the second walk of the half inning and the third of the game for Tanner Matthew. And that is going to get Steve Everhart, the head coach for the Battlers, out for a visit to the mound.
He's
and
bringing a new pitcher.
I was going to say, it looks like he is ready to make that pitching move. We'll have to keep an eye and see what other defensive changes might take place. But that looks to be 1-6, and that would be Chase Herndon who would be coming in.
Well, that's Chase Herndon. This is his first appearance as a pitcher.
It will be Herndon, the left-hander, who will begin to go to work. And let's see where Tanner Matthew is going to go. As right now, there are 5 players along the infield.
Herndon seems to be a fairly new addition to the team. He's only been in 1 game, has 3 at-bats. Got 1 hit in those 3 at-bats, and draw a walk, scored a couple runs, stole a couple bases.
Tanner Matthew going to work 2 1/3 innings. Right now giving up a run on 2 hits, striking out 5 and issuing 3 base on balls.
Is he over at third base?
And it looks like he's going to go over to third. Waiting to see who is coming out. Is he just going to replace Custer, who was at third? That might be the case.
Yeah, he's not going to take out Compton. Compton's the best hitter.
Nip Compton will hold at shorts.
Looks like Matthews is.
Looks like Engel will, pardon me, Engel will stay at second. And Cover is still over at first. So right now it is Custer who will be pulled, and Herndon would go into his spot in the batting order, which is the number 3 spot in the order, which would be the last man up in this next rotation, if you will, as the 8, 9, and 1 hitters would be due in the bottom of the third inning, and then 2, 3, and 4, and it would be Herndon going into that number 3 spot. So he's finished his warm-up tosses 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I have 17, so 57 pitches for Tanner Matthew in his 2 1/3 innings. And we would have 35 of those going for strikes. So Herndon ready with runners at the corners.
Oh, huge lead off first. They got him.
Yep, there is the throw over. The runner breaks towards the plate to draw the attention of the first baseman, Cover. And then moving back to third goes Walker, allowing Johnston to take second base.
And again, part of that play that works is because of the age level. They just don't have the arms to make the good hard throw from second base to cut off the runner at home.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball for Nick Horst, and he is down in the count. No balls and a strike. That's Horst, Nick Horst, hitting .455 coming in. Struck out on a 3-2 pitch back in that first inning, batting now with 1 out and 2 in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Tell you what, Herndon brings a little heat.
Yeah, and Horst drives and runs too. He's got 15 RBIs.
He was a little late on the last 2. Let's see what happens here with the count now at no balls and 2 strikes.
He's only struck out twice this year. That's 3.
Swing and a miss, yeah. 2 times now in this ball game. So he's up to 4 strikeouts. Big strikeout for Herndon. It's the second out of the inning. And the runners will hold at second and third. Now it brings up Ryan Peterson. Peterson, a strikeout victim back in that first inning when Tanner Matthews struck out 4 batters in that half inning. One of them reaching on a third strike in the dirt, and then an error at the end of the play. Fastball up and in for ball 1. Still a 1-0 Smithsburg lead, threatening here in this top of the third. Could this be a little momentum builder if Herndon can get out of this mess? The 1-0 on the way. That one goes all the way through to the backstop at Karams. Quickly back out towards the catcher. Everhart is on it, and the runners will hold. 2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Peterson.
Ryder Johnson out in second base after having taken a huge lead off first base where he was being held, has a modest lead off second base even though nobody's anywhere near him.
Well, he's got the runner in front of him. That might be his thinking as we get a 2-0 pitch down low and inside 3-0. Well, Herndon came in and did nothing but throw strikes to Horst, and now can't find the strike zone against Peterson. The left-hand pitcher working from really the first base side of the pitching rubber. Comes back with that 3-0 just high and outside, and that is ball 4. And that is going to load the bases. Walker is at third, Johnston at second, Peterson now at first, and it brings up Isaac Grove. Grove, a pop out to short in the second inning.
Grove hitting .368 coming into the game. He's got 11 hits.
Gary, he takes a strike on that inside corner.
7 hits, one of them's a double.
On 7 runs batted in on those 7 hits. Ducks on the pond, as they say here, with a pitch to the plate high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. With 2 outs in the inning, the infield playing at pretty routine depth at this level.
Cover not holding the run around first, so he's got a giant lead.
1-1 pitch popped up on the infield. Got a chance to get out of it. Compton, the shortstop, is there and makes the grab, and the side is retired. Oh, what a nice job by Chase Herndon as he comes in with 2 on, gets a strikeout for the second out of the inning, gives up a walk, but then with the bases loaded, gets the pop out to short to bring the inning to a close, and no run crosses the plate. We'll go to the bottom of the third when we come back to Municipal Stadium with Smithsburg holding on to that 1-0 lead.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or perma material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote, or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
We got a good one going here, heading into the bottom half of inning number 3. Still a 1-0 lead for Smithsburg. Plated their run with 2 outs in the second inning. A double for Henry Ortiz, followed by the RBI single from Preston Githens, and that is where we stand, 1-0, as the Little Falls Battlers make their way to the plate here in the bottom half of the third.
You know, I'm a little surprised to see that Matthew Walker is bad out there, because you look at the numbers and it doesn't look like anybody's pitched much more than 2 innings in a game for the Blue Crabs. Maybe because they've been having blowouts.
Yeah. It could be. Their head coach is Dean Peterson, assisted by Andy Grove, Rich Vieira, Stephen Abbott, Dave Knickerbocker, and the GM for the league, Casey Walker. Interesting note on the head coach. Dean Peterson played some AAA ball for the Pawtucket Red Sox back in his playing days.
He has a good sense of humor.
He does, because what are his 2 claims to fame?
One is he struck out Derek Jeter.
Now that's the one that you would expect him to bring up. The second is
he gave up a home run to Vlad Guerrero here, which nobody's still seen come down.
So there's that sense of humor. You got to take the good with the bad in this game, right?
Foul ball here. I
just want to quickly throw it in that, let's see, at the plate, the batter is number 16, Chase Herndon, who fouls away the first pitch. So it looks like Herndon went in for Roche, so maybe Custer went to left field, and we missed that in that last half inning. Nice pitch up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I talked to Coach Peterson about that before the game, and he said, yeah, well, what they don't tell you is that Jeter went 9 for 10 against me.
Yeah, but he got that one strikeout.
That's what I told him. You got to build on the positives.
1-1 on the way, and that one just down low and away. 2 balls and a strike now to Herndon. Left-hand batter just came in as the pitcher and getting his first at-bat here in the number 8 spot in the order. He takes a pitch that misses off that outside edge, now at 3 balls and 1 strike. Looking through the numbers, Herndon has 1 hit in 1 at-bat on this season, and that hit was a triple. Looks like 1 walk and no strikeouts.
And 2 run scores, if I recall.
He awaits the 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. High for ball 4. So Matthew Walker issues the base on balls. He is third, as he has now walked at least 1 batter in each of the first 3 Little Falls at bats. Now the leadoff reached on a walk in the second, but never got past first. Let's see if the Battlers can advance the base runner as Jacob Kindle stands in. Quick toss over to first, to chasing Herndon back in standing. Kindle, right fielder, wears the number 5. Stands near the back of the box.
Good lead for Herndon. Oh, he's gone.
There he goes. The pitcher will step off, make that throw towards second. Shortstop has it. The runner is in a rundown. The throw back to first. First baseman chasing him towards second, and eventually gets it to the second baseman, but he can't handle it as Walker drops it, and reaching at second will be Herndon. Oh, boy, that may be an E4 on the drop of that throw. Although the throw came so late, it was almost as if Walker was trying to catch and sweep that tag all in one motion, which is maybe why he didn't hang on to it. Maybe it's just a stolen base.
I'd give him a stolen base because Herndon was past him.
Yep, so Kendall will step back in and await the pitch.
They're looking for the bunt here. First baseman is way up. Third baseman just on the edge of the grass.
There is that bunt pushed up the first base line, but into foul territory. 0-1 now to Kendall.
Right idea, just a foot foul.
Yeah, you really would like to get this one down and advance that tying run to third, just 90 feet away, with 1 out in the top of the order coming up. 1-0 Smithsburg in front.
They're expecting, Blue Crabs are expecting the bunt again. First baseman way up.
Here he comes again as the pitch misses high. A bluff by the catcher, as though Peterson might throw behind the runner out at second. No middle infielder covering, so he wasn't going to, but just wanted to see the reaction of Herndon.
And Kendall had his hand slid up the bat, so he was going to, if it was a strike, he was going to bunt it.
Now that 1-1, and it misses down and in. 2 balls and a strike. So a good eye by Kendall, not trying to bunt pitches that aren't in the strike zone. And Gary, we see that so many times where a batter knows, okay, my job is to bunt, and sometimes they forget it still needs to be a strike. This one down low and outside, bounces all the way through to the backstop. That'll be a wild pitch, allowing Herndon to take third. And now the bunt might be off as Kendall will await a 3-1 pitch.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Everhart does here. He's having a little conversation with Kendall.
Are you thinking maybe safety squeeze?
He might.
Yeah, we'll have a conference on the mound as well. I believe that's Coach Peterson headed out, correct?
I think so.
So Coach Peterson talking things over with Matthew Walker and the entire infield. The offensive conference down the third baseline wrapping up. While we have a moment, we talk a little WVU baseball as the West Virginia Mountaineers fell earlier today in their matchup against Texas Tech by a 10-3 final, meaning that the Mountaineers and the Red Raiders have to play again. And it looks like that one may finally be underway, as they were going to have a very late start in that one as a result of how this day has played out as a whole. One of the games did not get finished last night, and as a result, they had to finish that one this morning before West Virginia and Texas Tech could play in that must-win for Texas Tech. And right now they're in the top of the 9th inning with TCU leading Oklahoma State 13-6.
He's bunting.
In the game ahead of the Mountaineer game. And Kendall bunts through that 3-1 pitch, and the count has gone full at 3-2. With TCU winning, that means they and Oklahoma State are going to have to come back out and play again later. They were saying that first pitch may not come until almost 10 o'clock Central Time. The 3-2 pitch in on the hands of Kendall, does a nice job to fight it off, fouls it to the backstop.
Well, I think that was ball 4 because he stepped way in the bucket and the ball was still off the handles, and he was about 2 feet off home plate by that time.
So the count now, again, 3-2 with the runner at third. Corner infielders coming in. Here comes that pitch, and it is up and in, and that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks to get this bottom of the third inning started. Had a steal and a wild pitch, and the leadoff walk. Herndon stands at third with Kendall at first. Runners at the corners for Caden Compton.
And you got to expect Kendall to be running here. He stole 5 this year with got caught stealing once. He's got a real healthy lead out there. There he goes.
There he goes with the pitch to the plate, and the throw down goes behind the runner at third, and an error as it goes down the third base line, and yep, it's going to score 2, going all the way to the 335 mark in the left field corner, and 2 runs will cross as Herndon scores from third, and coming all the way around from first is Jacob Kendall, and with the throwing error, it's now a 2-1 lead for the Battlers.
And there are 2 things about that's, you know, kids at this 13-year-old kids playing on a professional field. That ball, when it got by third base, rolled to the corner, and because of where the left fielder plays, the runner on first was at home plate before he picked up the ball.
So Compton steps back in. He swings through this one, and the count moves to 0-2. Bases empty now. Still nobody out as the first 2 in the inning, Herndon and Kendall, reached on walks and score on the error. 0-2 on the way. That one's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Battlers take the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Compton 0 for 1, a strikeout victim swinging at a 1-2 pitch back in the first. The 1-2 on the way, fouled straight back. It remains at a ball and 2 strikes. We would have Walker with 5. That would be 9. Make that 12. 15, roughly 16 pitches, so he's upwards of about 48 pitches so far in this one. Misses up and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Be anxious to see how deep into the game he goes. Tanner Matthew in the start for Little Falls through 57 pitches in 2 1/3.
Yeah, see anybody throwing for the Blue Crabs.
2-2 on the way. That one high and tight, 3-2. There was some action in the bullpen. Their bullpen is all the way out in right center. I don't know if you caught it a little bit ago, but two players were trotting along the warning track just before that errant throw. Of course, that's so far beyond where they're actually playing right now in the outfield. They don't hold up play while those guys work their way from the third base dugout out to the bullpen. So they did have someone loosening a little bit ago. Compton takes ball 4 on this 3-2 pitch, and that is 3 consecutive walks to get the third inning started for the Battlers. Jackson Engel will come to the plate. He drew a walk his first time up. Second baseman and number 2 hitter in the order. Tosses over to first, and back in on the dive goes Compton.
Compton's got a healthy lead over there, too. He stole 14 bases, only been caught once this year.
This is Babe Ruth Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR Martinsburg and TV 10, WRNR TV on YouTube. Engel awaiting that first pitch of the at-bat. And again, we get a toss over, and again, Compton back in on the dive.
Almost had him leaning. He took half a step, saw the move, and was able to reverse direction. Good lead still.
Walker again turns and throws over. And again, back in on the dive goes Compton. When Walker jumps and turns, he goes sidearm almost on that throw over to first.
Yeah, that's how he threw on that ground ball, hit back to him, threw it sidearm. There he goes.
A little more over the top on that one. Runner was on the move, and the throw down, and not in time. Wow, that was a really good throw by Peterson. A one-hopper to the shortstop, Kiffins, who slapped that tag down quickly, but Compton got the hand in.
Peterson's got a pretty good arm on him. It's an 8th grader, 14.
That pitch to Engel, missing for a ball. He squares around, offers a bunt, but bunts it foul. That one came a bit up and in, and he just never got the bat out of the way.
That was a self-protection bunt.
1 ball and 1 strike. Nice crowd on hand here for this one. Smithsburg not too far away from Hagerstown, and of course Spring Mills not too far a trip either for this backyard brawl between the top 2 teams in the Babe Ruth League. Here is the pitch. It is a strike. Count now 1-2. Engel not able to advance that base runner to this point.
Yeah, he bunted at that, but that was sort of a half-hearted bunt.
Spoken like a true manager. Now that 1-2 on the way. Had the plate, but down below the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. How are things going for the Blue Sox this summer, as you will once again be leading?
Well, we play our first games next weekend. Got a doubleheader, and going to play in Williamsport because of field availability.
Runner is on the move, and the 2-2 pitch. Yep, hit out into left field. It's a base hit. The left fielder Peterson can't come up with it cleanly, and no throw to the plate as Compton will come around to score. Engel is going to pick up his 17th run batted in on the season, and there's something you don't see often, and that's a hit and run with the runner going from second to third.
Nice job of hitting. And we got a new pitcher. It is number 7, who is JoJo Miller.
No relation that I am aware of.
Mr. Miller has been in 9 games so far this year. He's got a win. He's thrown in those 9 games. He's thrown 11 1/3 innings. He's given up 11 runs, 8 of them earned. Struck out 7, walked 5, and given up 15 hits.
Well, let's see what he can do to try to slow down what Little Falls he is doing in this bottom of the 3rd inning. That base hit for Engel is the only hit that has been allowed by Matthew Walker. He'll go 2+ innings, did not retire a batter here in this 3rd, giving up 3 runs on 1 hit with 5 walks and 3 strikeouts. And the walks, the undoing in this half inning, as Herndon reached on a walk and Kendall reached on a walk to get the inning started. A throwing error by the catcher behind the runner at 3rd ultimately led to Herndon and Kendall both scoring. After that, Compton drew a base on balls. He stole second and came around to score on the lone hit, that hit from Jackson Engel, the RBI single to left. And you've got Engel at first base with Jared Custer due up. So Custer must have gone to left field in the last half inning when Herndon took over on the mound.
Now, did Walker is this a straight switch, did you notice? Looks like it.
Potentially. I did not notice whether Walker went anywhere else.
I see the same guys in the infield can't quite make out the outfield, but they don't look like Walker.
So the left-hander JoJo Miller on the mound, getting ready to face Jared Custer. Number 3 hitter in the order is 0 for 1, struck out his first time up, and he bunts foul on the first pitch from Miller. That one going right off the top of the barrel and scooting towards the backstop. So the count at 0-1. Tanner Matthew due next. Nobody out. A runner at first and 3 runs in. A 3-1 lead for the Battlers. Here's the pitch, and it's bunted foul as that one pops up and hits Custer, still in the batter's box. He eventually drops the bat and starts towards first, but he'll have to come back. That one took that awkward bounce off the dirt and right back up into the lower body region.
Now, Mr. Aldrin gave us a pair of long-distance eyes, but there's no numbers on the front of the jerseys.
Oh, that 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Custer was fooled on that one, was moving the back foot as he strode into that pitch and then just kind of waved at it. You strode a word?
It is now.
And we made it up. One down on the strikeout, so JoJo Miller gets it started just the way that he and head coach Dean Peterson were hoping for. He'll go to work now on Tanner Matthew, starting him with strike one.
That was a nice little off-speed pitch.
Matthew, who started on the mound and now playing at third base. The runner at first is Engel. Short lead held on there by Horst, and here is a throw over. But Horst had come off the bag, and no chance as Engel went back in standing.
Yeah, they misread each other's intentions on that.
Left-hand pitcher, hard to get that big lead.
Engel's got 15 stolen bases on the year.
Miller to the plate, misses outside with the 0-1. 1-1 now to Tanner Matthew.
But I'm willing to bet that the Battlers have not seen a catcher with the arm that Peterson has displayed here tonight.
Tell you, he has been impressive behind the plate. Here comes that 1-1, off-speed hit in the air, high, pretty deep into center field. Johnston, though, is there, and he makes the grab for out number 2. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen today, but in this ballpark where it's 380 just to the right of dead center field, plenty of room for Johnston to pull it in.
Yeah, he got it up in the air, and it was right at the center fielder. But only had to move a couple of steps.
2 down now with that runner at first, and Mason Everhart, the batter, went down swinging at a 2-2 pitch in the second. Backs out of the way of one inside for ball 1. A run in the second for the Blue Crabs. The Battlers answering with 3 here in the bottom of the third to lead at 3-1.
Not much of a lead by Engel over there.
And there's a throw over, and he's back in standing. The timber lead, is that what you would call it? You know, the timber lead, that's where if you sawed him off at the ankles and pushed him over, he would land on first base.
That's about what he's got.
Timber, that's the idea. Stretches out a secondary lead as the pitch to the plate, grounded to the third baseman. Ward has it, nice throw to first, and Everhart will bounce out 5-3. So a nice job by JoJo Miller coming in relief of the starter, Matthew Walker, and retires the 3 batters that he faces. A strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. But the damage done as 3 runs cross in the Battler half of inning number 3. We go to the 4th inning with your score now. Little Falls 3 and Smithsburg 1.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
It's the late nights. the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
As we move to the top half of inning number 4, let's give you our storyline through 3. Little Falls has 3 runs on just 1 hit. They've committed 1 error and left 2 runners, none in scoring position. For Smithsburg, the Blue Crabs have scored a run on 2 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 6 base runners with 5 in scoring position. Smithsburg with their run in the top of the second, a 2-out double for Ortiz and an RBI single for Giffens, and then 3 in the bottom of the third for the Battlers as Herndon and Kendall drew base on balls, came around to score on a throwing error. Compton then reached on a walk, stole second, and scored on an RBI single from Jackson Engel. That is where we stand as Chase Herndon gets ready for his first full inning of relief for the Battlers. He'll face the 7, 8, 9, and possibly 10 hitters in the order. Yes, you heard me right. There's a 10th batter in the order, and we'll explain as we go, Lucy.
And thanks to the extra eyes, which Mr. Alderson gave us, that is number 12, Jared Custer, out in left field.
There it is. Lucas Ward, the batter, and the first pitch to him, and
that's a ball.
Now that's a number 10 on the back of that uniform.
That it is.
So we will have to check and see if we have had...
That's Caleb Barnes.
So Caleb Barnes is the batter. First pitch to him missed for ball 1, and now that one misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes. So Caleb Barnes now batting. First opportunity to see him at the plate here in this 4th inning. Quick conference as
him carefully.
The third base coach comes down to have a word with Barnes as the count has gone, let's see,
3-0.
I believe 3-0 as well. Waiting to see. Our plate umpire did not give us the indication. Here comes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. And now it is 3-1. So a good job by Herndon to battle back and get at least 1 strike. Let's see what happens here as Barnes, with that wide open stance in the right-hand batter's box, takes strike 2, belt high inside corner.
Now Barnes is only hitting .220 on the season, but he leads the team in ribbies with 19. So he's been a productive hitter.
No chance to drive one in unless he gets a home run to bring himself in here as this pitch is inside. That one may have clipped his foot as it went by. It's ball 4. Either way, it'll be a base on balls, but may also be a hit by pitch. Just watching the way he kind of skipped and then took that first ginger step, that may have caught him on the inside of the foot.
Yeah, it looks like he was signaling to the first base coach. He was touching the inside of his foot.
So Barnes.
That's a hit by a pitch then.
He's at first for Henry Ortiz, who doubled his first time up. Good size in the right-hand batter's box. Tall and lean is Ortiz, and he takes a strike on the inside corner.
Barnes has got a good lead over there.
Held on at first by Tyler Cover.
He's stolen 10 bases this year. Caught once.
Herndon to the plate. Runner stays. Swing and a miss by Ortiz. Count 0-2. Ortiz picked up his 3rd double of the season back in that 2nd inning and came around to score. Came in with a .275 average. Now has 12 hits in 41 at-bats. Here's a throw over to first.
Yeah, Barnes had lengthened his lead by about a step that time. Trying to give Mason Everhart a chance. Now he's shortened up. Now his lead's just about a step shorter than last time. Hitter steps out.
0-2 is the count on Ortiz. Giffens would be due next.
Leads a little longer this time.
But he stays put as the pitch hit high up into the air on the infield, and it is the pitcher calling for it and making the play. Nice grab, Chase Herndon. as he came off that first base side of the mound over towards the line, then backpedaled a little bit and in the grass made the grab.
Yeah, that was up the elevator shaft, too.
We've seen a couple of those.
You know, that's one of the differences, play at this level, too, and play at the higher levels. That Brandon King, when he was in the minor league camp for the Nationals, said that they'd fine him if a pitcher tried to catch a pop-up.
Well, it is Githens at the plate, lays down a bunt right out in front of the plate. Fielding that one is Everhart. The catcher's throw to first is not in time. Nobody's covering third as Matthew would come down the line and heads up base running for Barnes, who goes to second on the bunt and then goes to third with nobody covering.
That was a nice bunt, too. Everhart got out of the box pretty quickly, but good speed by Githens to give up the line.
A bunt base hit will put runners at the corners, and we'll have a new hitter in the number 10 spot in the order. Squares shows bunt, takes the pitch high, runner on the move, and a stolen base without the benefit of a throw as Githens goes to second. So let's see, that is a 34 on the back of the uniform of our new batter, so that is Ben Vieira. So Ben Vieira batting in that number 10 spot in the order, swings through this pitch. Count to him at 1-1. So Ben Vieira with a chance to swing the bat here in this fourth inning. Left-hand batter has two in scoring position, representing the game tying runs. He takes outside, 2 balls and a strike. 3-1 the lead for Little Falls, but Smithsburg threatening with just 1 out in this top half of inning number 4. Little Falls, the home team. And this pitch down low in the dirt. It's gone to 3 balls and a strike. Herndon struggling a little bit with control. He walked Barnes on a 3-2 pitch to get the inning started. And now it's gone 3-1 to Vieira.
I'm a little surprised Blue Crabs aren't trying to safety squeeze here.
Well, that 3-1 is up and in. That is ball 4. And the bases are now loaded with just 1 away as we go to the top of the order. And Matthew Walker, not going to be Walker.
JoJo Miller.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgot about JoJo. I didn't mark him in this side of my book. So JoJo Miller getting his first at-bat after he came in relief of the starter, Matthew Walker. And we'll have time taken as we have a conference on the mound.
JoJo's only hitting 130 coming into the year. He's got just 3 hits in his 23 at-bats, all of them singles. But once he gets on, he runs. He's got 8 stolen bases. He's drawn 10 walks. Got hit by a pitch once. Struck out 8 times. These guys walk and they get hit by pitches.
And again, you expect it at this level, as this is the beginning of going from the smaller fields to the bigger fields. And it is an adjustment, no doubt about it. Well, the conference on the mound works as action gets underway, and Herndon delivers a strike to JoJo Miller.
But they're either slow moving out of the box, or there's a team willing to take one for the team.
Next pitch, cut on and missed. 0-2. And a big pitch coming. Check in on our Washington Nationals here in just a moment as the 0-2 on the way. Taken for a called strike 3.
That's a nice pitch.
Herndon will get his second strikeout since coming in relief, and that's a huge one as it's the second out of the inning, and the bases remain loaded as it brings up Jay Peterson. Washington already gone final today against Miami as the Nationals get a 5-0 victory. Peterson taking strike 1. Jay Peterson has walked and has popped out to the shortstop.
And he's tied for second on a team in ribbies with 17.
The 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. 0-2. You already look through the first 3 innings and see 6 left on base and 5 in scoring position for Smithsburg. They're loaded right now. So they would leave 3 more and 2 more in scoring position unless Peterson can put the ball in play and bring in a run. The 0-2 on the way. Down low and outside. Oh, it gets by the catcher Everhart. That'll be a wild pitch to the backstop, and it scores a run.
Yeah, that hurts because he was right on the verge of getting out of the inning.
The other runners move up as well. Githens now stands at third with Vieira at second. It was Barnes who scored from third, so the lead for Little Falls right now at 3-2. Count to Peterson at a ball and 2 strikes. Now the tying run just 90 feet away, and the go-ahead run in scoring position. Peterson awaiting that 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Here it comes. Down low again. It bounces in the dirt, getting away from Everhart. We got a tie ball game with a go-ahead run at third. As a pair of wild pitches bringing in the runs. As Githens now scores from third. Vieira stands at third.
And both of those were way high, way wide. Everhart made a good job to try to move over and get a glove on it and just couldn't quite get there. It was off the tip of his glove, but it was way wide.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The go-ahead run at third now in a 3-3 tie. 2 outs in the inning, and the pitch up and in. It's a full count now, 3-2. Top half of inning number 4 scheduled to go 7. 2 runs in the inning, tying this one up at 3. After the Battlers put 3 on the board in the bottom of the third to erase an early 1-0 deficit. 3-2 pitch to Peterson, misses outside for ball 4. And the base on balls will put runners at the corners, and that's now the 3rd walk of this half inning for Chase Herndon. Herndon will stay in as Ryder Johnston makes his way to the plate. He has reached on a 3rd strike and has walked. He swings through the first pitch of the at-bat for strike 1.
And I'm looking for Ryder Johnson to take off here in a minute.
Or Peterson at first. Johnston.
Peterson, sorry. Thank you.
It's all right. I was just wondering where Johnston's going. He's got to put it in play before he can take off, right?
Yeah, can't steal first base.
Although it was done once. You know that story, right?
No. You going to tell me?
I will. I will have to try to pull that out of the way back of my mind as the runner is on the move with this pitch to the plate. Johnston taking all the way. It misses for ball 2. No throw down, and Peterson does steal second without the benefit of a throw. 2 are in scoring position now with 2 outs. Here comes that 1-1. It goes all the way through to the backstop. The runner's going to break for third, now go back, and the runner at second, who was well over halfway there, has to retreat as well. So Vieira stays at third and Peterson at second. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Peterson trying to draw a throw, standing about 6 feet off the bag, but Chase wasn't biting.
Now that 2-ball, 1-strike pitch, a swing and a miss. It is 2-2. It was way back in the day. I'm trying to think of what year it was in the early 1900s, where the base runner actually stole, and when he got to second, thought the ball had been put in play as to whatever the scenario was, and he actually went back to first, so he stole second and then went back to first. Swing and a miss at the 2-2 pitch, and Johnston goes down on strikes, and that is a huge strikeout for Chase Herndon. It is his 3rd of the ball game, his 2nd of the inning, and he will strand that go-ahead run at third base. Still 2 runs cross in the top half of inning number 4 as the Blue Crabs tie it up. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Smithsburg 3 and Little Falls 3.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large 1-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
having a hard time. Yeah, we get the lights on here in the press box at Municipal Stadium.
Matt, you're still here.
I'm here. I'm here. Thanks to John Kosich. You hear him all the time on Miller Time and on the TV10 broadcast of Hagerstown Suns baseball. He's doing the PA tonight while keeping tabs on the Suns team that is out of town for the weekend series. Helping us out to find the light switch as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4. The lefty JoJo Miller back out there for his first full inning of relief. Goes against Tyler Cover, who bounces it along the third base line as good as a swinging bunt, and it's picked up and then thrown high to first base and down the line where the right fielder's got it. He'll get it to the cutoff and the throw to third. That one thrown a little high, but backing up on the play, I believe that is going to be the third baseman the left fielder ultimately, who grabs that one and holds the runner at third base.
Nice play, kid. They saved a run.
So Cover will reach on what I'm going to say is probably just a 3-base error. It's the error that allows him to reach, and then that same error allows him to go all the way around to third base.
Good throw had him.
So E5 will put the runner at third, the go-ahead run, and will bring up Landon Wallace. He bunts through, strike one.
Coach Everhart playing a little small ball here. First baseman is in, third baseman playing back and off the base.
Ooh. Wave and a miss at that 0-1 pitch. Wallace comes up empty.
I'm watching Coach Everhart see if he still uses the same size he used when I was indicted with a Legion.
Oh, they go to bounce towards the second baseman and goes through the legs of Walker, and that one will be an error that will bring in the run, and it looks like it might be Ortiz, 46, now playing there at second base, as I saw the back of his jersey as that one got through, and back-to-back errors helping to bring in a run. Should still be an RBI for Wallace because the run was scoring no matter what.
I think you're right, Matt. Nice job of hitting to the right side with the runner on third base. Good baseball. Outside pitch. Everybody's on the mound having a company meeting.
Trying to settle things down as the run has put the Battlers back out in front, now by a 4-3 score. When you look at how the games have played out between these two programs so far this season, the first time they met, it was at Valley Little League back on the 10th of April, and Smithsburg scored a 9-5 victory. Chase Herndon was the due batter, but let's see who we've got in there. The right-hand batter taking a pitch down in the dirt that will advance Wallace to second. That should be a wild pitch.
That's number 18. And I don't see him.
All right, let's grab our other sheet.
That may be Daniel Thomas, because there was one.
We've got Noah Martin.
Noah Martin?
So Noah Martin in there to swing the bat in the number 8 spot in the order. Martin taking this pitch. 2 balls and no strikes as this one misses. So Noah Martin with his first at bat coming here in the 4th inning. Becomes the 3rd player to be in this number 8 spot in the order. Swings through the 2-0, now 2-1. Jacob Kindle would be due next.
And I think that may mean that Martin has that Headley's out, I think.
Here comes a pitch down low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. You mean Herndon?
Herndon, yeah.
Yeah, Chase Herndon. I'm imagining, as you said, would be out. We had him at 39 pitches through an inning and a third. 19 of those went for strikes. Here's a pitch up and away for ball 4.
Was it Chase Headley at third base with San Diego?
Yes.
I can't remember all my kids' names, but
you can remember.
That gets stuff.
Yes.
And we got a pinch hitter here.
I was going to say, not Jacob Kindle. And a left-hand batter making his way to the plate out of this number 9 spot in the order and takes a pitch down and in. Now, hang on a second.
16.
That's now Herndon.
Well, I have no idea what's going on.
No, me either. Me either, as Herndon takes, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So who's in the on-deck circle? Compton back to the top of the order. So I'm totally lost as to how this can happen. Unless somebody is hit out of order. Here's a pitch taken for a strike, and it's now 2-1.
Well, I may have misunderstood the substitution rules, but I didn't think this was possible.
I was going to say, I can't imagine how you can bat in a totally different spot in the order. Time as we get a balk on the pitcher that is going to advance the base runners as Wallace goes to third and Martin goes to second. Second time we have had a balk, and once again, it's been a case where the pitcher has not come fully set. When pitching from the stretch like that, when the ball and the glove come together, he's got to come to a stop, pause, and then go into his delivery, and apparently did not go into that pause. I'm still somewhat lost with Chase Herndon in the batter's box. 2-1 pitch, down low and in, 3 balls and a strike. Again, Compton is due next. A run in and 2 in scoring position, nobody out. We're in the bottom half of inning number 4. And right now a 4-3 lead for Little Falls. Pitch down and in, that's ball 4. So Herndon will draw the base on balls. And now we have time being taken.
Well, Coach Peterson's not coming out to talk about batting out of order.
It doesn't seem to be. He is going to the mound and looks like he is ready to
center fielders.
Yep, make a pitching change.
Well, man, I thought I had figured out the substitution rules, but I have not.
Yeah, they change it at every level, it seems, which makes things very
interesting.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. So our new pitcher getting in his warm-up tosses.
And that's Ryder Johnson.
So Ryder Johnston becomes the third pitcher, replacing JoJo Miller. Miller is going to go 1+, but has not retired a batter here in this 4th inning. So far has given up 1 run, but without the benefit of giving up a hit. Walker, the starter, gave up 3 runs on only 1 hit.
It looks like Isaac Grove, who was the Saturday's extra hitter, is out there. All right, Gillens.
Miller allows right now 1 run on no hits, issuing a pair of base on balls to go along with 1 strikeout. The runners on base, his responsibility. A couple of errors committed here in this half inning, leading to a run and leading to the situation where the bases are loaded with Wallace at third, Martin at second, and Herndon at first. And we're back to the top of the order, and Caden Compton. Compton has struck out and has walked, and he takes a pitch, and that misses for ball 1. The 1-0 due from the right-hander, the runners with their leads. First baseman playing in front of that runner at first as the pitch to the plate is taken for a strike. Count evens up 1-1. Jackson Engel due next. A run in the inning has the Battlers of Little Falls out in front, 4-3. Looking to add to that lead as the 1-1 is high and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who is where, because there have been some position changes for the Blue Crabs.
2-1 on the way, and this pitch misses outside, 3 balls and a strike. Germany Schaefer. I knew I couldn't come up with the name. He is the player back in the day that stole first base.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Pearsall did that once too, but they threw him out of the game for it.
Foul ball. Back over the backstop just to the right of us. It's a guy completely over the press box.
I would have been on that. I would have picked it up right after he hit you in the head.
3-2 on the way. Fouled right back towards us. Then went into the netting below the press box here at Municipal Stadium. Full count, holds 3-2.
What do you need an out here? Corners are in there. Middle infield's back. Doesn't matter.
Nope, the payoff pitch misses for ball 4. Compton on the 3-2 draws the RBI base on balls as it will walk in a run. Landon Wallace crossing from third. Martin now stands at third. Herndon is at second with Compton at first. And it brings to the plate Jackson Engel, who grounds it to short. The shortstop can't make a play anywhere. Githens could not handle it cleanly on that bouncing ball to him and then had no chance to get anybody as Martin scores from third. Herndon goes to third. Compton reaches at second and Engel is aboard at first.
Well, I think Engel gets an RBI because there was no play at the plate. It wasn't hit hard enough.
Custer swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back into the netting. So it will be an E6.
And the shortstop was looking up to see where the runners were before the ball was in his glove. And it just cost him.
But a run batted in as well. 3 runs have scored in the inning. And now a 6-3 lead for Little Falls. Pitch to the plate missing. Count to Custer. Works to 1 ball and a strike. Custer 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Swing and a miss at this one. Down and into the right-hand batter. Now at 1-2.
And that one had him fooled a little bit. He started to swing and he picked up his back foot and moved it back.
Bases remain loaded. The runners with their leads as the pitch is taken for a called strike 3. Been a tough night for Custer. That strikeout will be the first out of the inning. 3rd time tonight he's gone down on strikes. This one looking. Herndon at third will be the final runner credited to JoJo Miller's account. Right now giving up 3 runs without the benefit of a hit in the inning. Brings up Tanner Matthew. Bases remain loaded with 1 out, and the pitch bounced out in front of the plate and off the chest protector of the catcher Peterson. Able to hold the runners as the count goes to a ball and no strikes.
Using his body to keep the ball in front. Nice play. Now, first baseman is way in. Now he's backing up a little bit to the edge of the grass.
And the pitch popped up, foul territory. This one should get back out of play, and it does as it ends up in the dugout off the third base side. That's where the Little Falls Battlers are located. Count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And showing good discipline, nobody in the dugout made the play. Now let's see Coach E giving signs down there. One of the he's getting ready to throw now.
1-1 due. Here it comes. Misses high. You were about to say?
Yeah, on the website for the Battler, there's a Coach Everhart sayings, and the one that I hadn't heard before was baseball's a nervous breakdown, broken down into 9 innings.
And the 2-1 on the way, hit in the air out towards the shortstop, over the head of the shortstop, and then bounces away from the center fielder Johnston. He'll get it back in, but will not have a play.
Oh, I thought the shortstop had it for a moment. It looked like it hung up just a little longer than expected.
Tanner Matthew will get an RBI base hit as that is going to score Herndon from third. 4 runs coming in the inning and all going against the mark of JoJo Miller. And now a 7-3 lead for the Battlers. And the bases remain loaded. Compton is at third, Engel is at second, and Matthew is aboard at first. The entire infield comes together for a quick conference before Mason Everhart can stand in, the 9th batter to come to the plate in this home half of the 4th inning. for Little Falls.
And we got a new infield for the Blue Crabs. The first baseman is number 44, Jay Peterson. Githers.
Well, the runner is coming to the plate. It's the suicide squeeze, and Everhart lays it down. He'll be tagged out by the first baseman, but the suicide squeeze works as Compton scores from third.
And that was a great bunt, because all they needed was a force play on that. He got the ball away from the pitcher, so the runner is able to score. Nice job, Mason Everhart.
Nice job. Yep, the suicide squeeze. A run batted in as the out goes 3 unassisted. The second out of the inning. Now it brings to the plate Tyler Kober, who grounds it on the right side of the infield, gloved by the second baseman. He'll scoop and make that throw over to first and in time to get him. That out will be recorded 4-3. 10 men bat in the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 runs come across for Little Falls, and as we go to the 5th inning, it is now Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 3.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Here we go to the top half of inning number 5. Herndon does remain on the mound, which totally confuses us as to how things played out in the bottom half of that 4th inning, when Herndon, who previously had batted in the number 8 spot in the order, ended up batting in the number 9 spot in the order in the 4th inning. I'm
at a loss.
You and me both. We'll just keep playing baseball, and, well, they'll keep playing baseball. We'll just do our best to talk about what we see going on out there.
And there is a new shortstop. It is number 47. What do you have for 47, Matt?
We'll grab that in just a moment as the batter at the plate swings through this first pitch. That's Nick Horst, who is back in there, who swings and misses at strike 1. So 47 for Little Falls.
Yeah.
I don't have a 4-7 on the roster sheet that I'm looking at. It's the next pitch, missing down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. We will effort that number one more time.
Maybe it's 42.
Horst awaiting, and the pitch. That one down low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, that would be Compton, who was at short.
Yeah.
So 42.
42.
So that is Compton. The 2-1 on the way, had the plate, but down below the knees, 3 balls and a strike. So give it to me one more time. Gary Compton is now in left. Is that what you're saying, or?
No, he's at shortstop.
No, he's at short.
Yeah,
okay.
I misread the letter on the number on his jersey.
I just wanted to make sure. Ryan Peterson due next. 3-1 on the way. Down low, ball 4. So Horst draws the base on balls for Herndon. That is going to be the 5th batter that he has walked. Has he walked a batter in that 3rd? Walked
runner
3 in that 4th, and now has walked Horst.
This is number 2, Jack Gertz, Gertz, is running for Horst.
So Gertz serving as a pinch runner here in this 5th inning. Ryan Peterson to the plate, has struck out and has walked. There goes the runner. The pitch up and away. Everhart's throw down and too late. Sliding in feet first. Gertz has the stolen base.
Number 16 on the year for him.
Gets himself into scoring position. Right now Smithsburg in need of some runs. Trailing by an 8-3 score. Pitch missing down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. 3 runs scoring in that 3rd for the Battlers. 5 runs in the 4th. Smithsburg a run in the 2nd. They plated 2 in the 4th. This pitch from Herndon misses just up.
That's 3-0.
Yep, 3 balls and no strikes. Peterson walked on 4 pitches his last time up, and that was against Herndon. So he has yet to see a strike from the pitcher on the hill. Now that pitcher ready, and the pitch to the plate, a swing and a miss. 3-1. We were mentioning earlier these teams meeting. We mentioned that first meeting, a 9-5 win for Smithsburg. Next time they met was on April 23rd, and it was a 9-6 win for Little Falls. 3-1 pitch missing for ball 4. Back-to-back base on balls to get the top half of the 5th inning started. Runners at first and second. Isaac Grove is the due batter, and it will be Grove making his way to the plate. These teams met back on May 7th, and that is when Little Falls came up with their win by a 10 runs, 14-4. First pitch to Grove, down low and inside for ball 1. And now here they meet again. So Smithsburg 2-1 in the matchups against Little Falls this season. The Battlers trying to even that up before they meet a 5th time at the end of the season. Throw over to first, goes over the head of the first baseman. Gertz will score from second, and Peterson, who was at first, will get third base as that ball apparently got caught up in the tarp off the first base side. Or
they're going to send him back, arguing it got caught up by the tarp.
Ah, there you go. Base. So with a yes, that's what's going on. When the umpire pointed at third and we watched Peterson start towards third, he sends him back to second and sends Gertz back to third. Yeah, definitely a break for Little Falls. Now that 1 ball, no strike pitch, missing inside, ball 2 to Isaac Grove.
And Herndon seems to have lost home plate in this inning.
He certainly has. Back-to-back walks, and now a 2-ball, no strike count to Grove, and that 2-0 pitch in there for a strike.
I think since he was walking towards third base as that pitch came in, I think he was taken all the way.
That's a safe call there, yes. See if he's taking again. Near the back of the box, somewhat crowding the plate. He swings and grounds it sharply towards the shortstop. Coming up with that is Compton. His throw to first in time. Return throw across the diamond, not in time. As Matthew will pull it in just after Peterson went in standing. Gertz, who was at third, does come home to score on the ground ball out for Isaac Grove. The out recorded 6-3. It is a run batted in, Grove's 8th of the season. 1 down in the inning. The score now 8-4, the lead for the Battlers. And the batter at the plate takes the pitch down low and in, goes through to the backstop, and a head-first dive at the plate for Peterson, who comes home to score from third as the throw from Everhart goes over the head of the pitcher Herndon, trying to cover at the plate.
Everhart hustled back and picked it up, turned quickly, and his throw is just a little bit high and a little bit behind Chase Herndon coming in to score. I'm not sure they had a play anyway.
Caleb Barnes is the batter, up for a second time, ahead in the count 1-0. Now make it 2-0 as this pitch skips in the dirt out in front of the plate, up into the chest protector of Everhart. Base is empty now, 1 away in the inning, and 2 runs have scored.
Yeah, so let them off the deck here.
Yep, 8-5 right now, the lead for Little Falls. The 2-0 pitch high, 3 balls and no strikes.
You know, Barnes has got a stance. I saw a lot of guys with Hedgesville and Jefferson have where the back foot is in the inside corner of the batter's box, and then they're way open.
Here's a taken strike on the inside corner. Now 3-1. And then they bring that front foot back in, kind of, I guess, as a timing mechanism to then stride into the pitch.
Well, a lot of the hitters aren't bringing it back in much, though.
Yeah, it's true. As the 3-1 goes by the catcher, that is ball 4. Sprinting towards first is Barnes. He's going to make his turn, see if he can take second, but Everhart to the baseball. Holds him there.
Coach Everhart's going to go out and have a talk. You know, Charlie Lau was hitting coach for White Sox, among other teams, for a while. Used that theory, taught it to Pudge Fisk and George Brett, and put the open stance and in striding into the ball. So they're able to hit the outside pitch and measure their stride to get the inside pitch. But what I saw with a lot of these kids and in the high school games is they're not closing back off. They're just bringing that front foot up, so they're still open a lot of times when the pitch comes in, which makes it difficult to hit. Not a flaw of Chase DeLauder, though.
The Gatorade State Player of the Year for the Hedgesville Eagles. Conference on the mound, just now wrapping up, and it was just that, a conference, as Herndon will stay in. And it should be Henry Ortiz that he will face. Ortiz, out of the number 8 spot in the order, has doubled and has popped out to the pitcher. I'll have to read you more on that story. I didn't quite have my facts right as to why he stole first base, and now that I read the article, I am reminded again of what exactly happened as he stole second, then stole first to steal second again. I'll explain. First pitch, it's in there for a strike. And it's Germany Schaefer that we were talking about back in 1911. Barnes with his lead, stays at first as the pitch to the plate misses high.
Everhart had a notion to throw down because Barnes was a little bit off. Wisely held up, though.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
Barnes has 10 steals on the year, caught once.
That 1-1, a swing and a miss. Now there is that throw down, and he overshoots the first baseman. Backing up the play, the right fielder, getting it in as quickly as he can and holding that runner to just 1 base.
That's a hard throw for a catcher because when he comes out, he is not square with first base. So when he catches it, and that was inside, he's turned towards third base. And so he's not throwing facing the base, and that's oh, that hit him.
Yep, the 1-2 pitch misses inside and hits Ortiz, who tried his best to dance out of the way of that pitch. Just couldn't do it. The hit by pitch puts runners at first and second. Brings to the plate Preston Githens, but first, see what we're going to have is Steve Everhart.
He's coming out to.
Yeah, making his way over to talk with the coach, it looks like, for Smithsburg. Not sure what that conversation may have been.
Well, now he's going to go make a change. As I understand the rules that I looked up, he's got to make the change. This is his second mound visit in an inning, but there may be another set of rules.
So he will make that change. We'll have to try to keep an eye on Herndon to see where he goes. Looks like he's headed towards the outfield. And believe it or not, it looks like Matthew may be taking over on the mound again. Tanner Matthew, who was at third, takes the baseball, and it looks like he is going back in.
Yeah.
3 walks and a hit by pitch in this half inning mean 7 walks and a hit batter for Herndon. 10 walks issued right now by Little Falls pitching. And that has been something that this Smithsburg team has feasted on, Gary, as you talked about it earlier.
Now Herndon's out in the outfield someplace.
22 would be 61 pitches thrown for Chase Herndon. We would have only about 25 5 or 6 of those going for strikes as he labored with his control. He will go 2 1/3 innings as he leaves with 1 out here. Pardon me, let me go back. That's 1 and 1, 2. He will go just 2 innings, not 2 1/3 innings. 2 innings in relief. And of all things, has given up 4 runs on just 1 base hit, but the walks have been the issue.
Custer is back at third base.
All right, while the new old pitcher gets in his warm-up tosses, let me go back and share with you the story, Gary. Are you ready?
I am ready.
August 4th, 1911, bottom of the 9th inning. Germany Schaefer steals second, hoping to draw a throw to allow teammate Clyde Millen, who was on third, to potentially steal the winning run. White Sox catcher Fred Payne didn't fall for it, however, so Schaefer, now on second, took his lead toward the first base side of the bag and promptly stole first on the subsequent pitch. Sox manager Hugh Duffy came out to argue, but the umpire said, I don't know that there's a rule against it. And ultimately, he ended up stealing second again. So Germany Schaefer stole first.
Okay, I think I got the infield now. Custer is back at third base. Compton remains at short. Noah Martin is at second, and Tyler Cover remains at first base. And I think Herndon went to left field.
And Githens is at the plate and swings and fouls a pitch back for strike 1. So Tanner Matthew, who went 2 1/3 innings to start this game, we had him at 57 pitches, 35 for strikes, is right back out there again. He gave up just a run on 2 hits. Now out there to try to settle things down as he gets a ground ball to short, and Compton will get that one to Martin at second just in time to get the force outs of Ortiz.
Yeah, the second baseman, Martin, looked like he was expecting Compton to throw to first base. Hesitated, then got over there just about half a step before the base runner.
That's the second out on the fielder's choice that goes 6-4. We'll put runners at the corners and we'll bring to the plates Ben Vieira. He batted in the 4th inning up here in the 5th. Runner was on the move as the pitch is fouled back for strike 1. Githens clearly had that base stolen if it were not for the foul ball back.
No, they're not throwing through.
Vieira drew a base on balls and was stranded at third in the 4th inning. He'll take this pitch outside with the runner again on the move, no throw down. Githens will go to second on the stolen base.
I think Vieira was taken all the way to let him steal.
Yes. So 2 in scoring position. Off-speed pitch, up and away. 2 balls and a strike now to the number 10 hitter in the order. There is an extra hitter that is allowed in Babe Ruth baseball. So the 9 in the field all play defensively and bat. Well, the extra hitter is like your DH, but he's not really batting for anybody. Swinging away, here's a foul ball into the bleachers off of the third base side. Sent a few people scamper it. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning.
On the pitch before, Matthews just did not follow through, and that pitch was way outside. That time he had a good follow through and threw it down the middle of the plate. Get the strike.
8-5 right now, the lead for Little Falls, and it will stay that way as Vieira swings through the 2-2 pitch down on strikes to bring the inning to a close. So Matthew comes in and does his job, getting the fielder's choice ground ball and the strikeout. Ends the inning without any further damage. 2 runs do cross the plate. And as we go to the bottom half of inning number 5, your score is now Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 5.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
So 2 runs scoring in the top of the 5th for the Blue Crabs, and now we see if the Battlers can find a way to answer against Ryder Johnston. Along with Gary Gefford, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton, our TV10 cameraman, Patrick Feely, our engineer, back at the studio. This is Babe Ruth Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg and TV10. All right, we mentioned earlier that many of these players for Little Falls will go on to play at either Hedgesville or Spring Mills High School. I have to share the story of many years ago and a similar situation as what we've had here today with a pitcher coming in for a second time on the mound. Landon Wallace getting this 5th inning started, fouls one away, first base side. 10 batters came to the plate in that 4th inning when 5 runs scored for the Battlers. Ryder Johnston came in to get out of that jam, and now in his first full inning of relief, delivers to the plate, and it's a pop-up first base side, and that one out of play into the lower deck seating. And the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Wallace 0 for 2 has grounded out to the pitcher and has reached on an error in which he brought home a run. It was an RBI ground out, where the run would have scored no matter whether the play had been made. He reached on the error, so he gets credit for the RBI. He bounces the 0-2 pitch in behind the plate, holding it 0-2. Many years ago, Tom Tucker and Malcolm Ader did the play-by-play at Talk Radio WRNR, and they were calling a baseball game at Hedgesville where Mark Porterfield started the game and then went and played first base. Late in the game, I believe it was against Martinsburg, they mounted a rally. 0-2 on the way. Here it comes, and it's a bouncing ball, first base side, foul, and we'll do it again. So as the game got tight in the end, Ben Merrick came out and pulled Mark Porterfield from first and put him back on the mound. Malcolm Ader was an English teacher, so he tended to speak more properly than, say, us guys up here. So his comments as the 0-2 is on the way, that one up high and tight, 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Tom announced what was going on, Malcolm's comment was, so Mark Porterfield is relieving himself on the mound. Not quite, if you take that at its official terms. So in this case, we had Tanner Matthew relieving himself on the mound here in the last half inning for Little Falls. Wallace fouls the 1-2 right back up towards our PA announcer. John Kosas was ready to make the catch on that one.
I mean, I remember a Martinsburg game where Paul Chenoweth started. They took him out, put him in the outfield. Game got tight, and he came in and closed it out, so he got both the win and the save.
You don't see that often.
No, you don't.
2 balls, 2 strikes taken for a called strike 3. It was dropped by the catcher, but he'll apply the tag to Wallace as he heads back towards the dugout. Had already given up on that one, not trying to get to first base.
I think I've got their infield figured out for the Blue Crabs now. Isaac Grove is at third base. Matthew Walker, I believe, is the shortstop. Preston Githers is now at second base, and Nick Horst remains at first, I think.
So let's bring to the plate. Let's see. Chase Herndon in the number 8 spot in the order.
How can this be?
Takes a pitch down and in, and that was ball 2 as the first pitch missed as well. Yeah, I'm with you. I really have no idea, Gary. None. But Herndon swings and grounds this one sharply up the middle. The shortstop over to his left. He's got it. Sidearm throw to first and in time to get him. Nice play.
Nice clean play.
So as you would say, that would be Walker, who was over there. Matthew Walker, who started this game on the mound. making that throw to first to get the out. So the strikeout and the ground out 6-3 mean there are 2 outs, and now it brings up Noah Martin. And the pitch misses high for ball 1.
Well, it may be. It may be that they made a mistake and Coach Peterson just didn't catch it.
It seems like it, as Martin takes a pitch high, 2 balls and no strikes, as Martin actually hit in the 8th spot in the 4th inning and drew a walk. Herndon hit in the 9th spot in the 4th inning and also drew a walk, but that was after Herndon drew a walk in that 8th spot in the 3rd inning. Now Herndon back in that 8th spot, grounds out here in this 5th inning, and Martin in the number 9 spot is ahead at the count, 3 balls, no strikes, as the 2-0 misses. The 3-ball, no strike pitch due. Opportunity to set down the side in order if he can battle back, but can't do it as the 3-0 bounces out in front of the plate, goes through to the backstop, and that is ball 4. So a 2-out base on balls will give Little Falls a runner for Caden Compton out of the top of the order. Compton has struck out and then has walked twice. He takes a pitch very high for ball 1. Compton walked, stole, and scored in the 3rd, and drew a bases-loaded walk to bring in a run in the 4th. Eventually came around to score in that half inning as well, as the Battlers put 5 on the board in that 4th inning. Here's a swing and a pop foul back out of play. That went to the left of the press box.
And Noah Martin's got a timid as opposed to a timber lead over there on first base. I've got to remember that. I like that.
1-1 the count now to Compton. The Jackson Engel due next. Here comes that 1-1. It sails high. 2 balls and a strike. The Battlers looking for their 11th win on the season. A chance to even up the series between these two at 2 games apiece. The Blue Crabs trying to rally for their 17th win on the year.
Another walk.
Compton takes, and that pitch low and outside for ball 4.
Here comes Coach Peterson.
Well, let's see if he's ready to make a change or if it's just a matter of trying to settle things down.
Making a change.
Yep, so Johnston, let's see if he's going to make his way back out to the outfield. More than likely that would be the case. Let's see who our new pitcher is going to be.
Grove.
That is Isaac Grove. So Isaac Grove takes over for Ryder Johnston.
Yeah, let's see what Mr. Grove has done on the mound this year. He has been in 2 games, has thrown a total of 1 inning. And he's given up 3 runs, none of them earned. Struck out 3, gave up 1 hit, and walked a couple of guys.
Looking at Ryder Johnston and some of his totals. He will go an inning and 2/3. Has given up just 1 hit. There have been just 2 hits in this one so far for Little Falls, and yet they've got 8 runs on the board as they've been able to take advantage of some walks and some errors, as 4 errors have been committed by the Blue Crabs. Right now just 1 run allowed by Johnston. However, the runners on base at first and second right now would be his responsibility. He'll exit with a pair of strikeouts and also with 3 base on balls. So that's 10 walks that have been allowed by 3 Smithsburg pitchers so far. 10 walks and a hit batter have been allowed by a pair of Little Falls pitchers. So you're talking about 21 free base runners between these 2 staffs.
And I think Johnson went over to third base.
Jackson Engel, the due batter, and the first pitch to him has him ducking down to the seat of his pants. It's off the mid of the catcher, and the runners will advance. So there you go, with Martin moving to third and Compton to second.
Ryan Peterson had a thought about throwing down to third base, but wisely held onto the baseball.
Yeah, definitely a good decision. Engel awaits the 1-0 pitch, taken for a strike. Count at 1-1. Engel has walked, delivered an RBI single, and reached on an error that also was an RBI hit, or an RBI opportunity, not a hit. It was an error, but the run would have scored even had he been retired in that play. So he reaches on the error, but still gets credit for the run batted in. The 1-1 pitch. Grove taking his time, still looking in at the catcher, still looking in, now lifts the leg, and the pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Must have been visualizing, and it worked.
I was going to say, hypnotized Engel, who just stood there and watched it go by.
Compton, nobody's holding him because they're running around third base, but he's got about a 25-foot lead off second base.
The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Engel. 2 outs in the inning, 2 in scoring position, and this time Engel steps out. I wondered if he would do that last time, as Grove really took a lot of time before delivering. Now it looks like everybody's ready. And that 1-2 pitch is on the way, and it is hit on the ground past the second baseman into right field. 1 run will score. No, it won't. Nice play. Whoa. As the right fielder threw to first in time to get the out. That's a great play in right.
That was an excellent play. I thought I took my eyes off of it because I saw that ball go by. I thought the run was going to score, but right fielder.
That is Gabriel Walker, who had been at second. It looked like a 2-2 on the back of his jersey as he came in, able to make that play. Not often that you write a 9-3 as a ground out to end the inning, but that is exactly what happens, and he prevents any runs from scoring as Little Falls will strand 2 base runners and leaving both in scoring position. We will go to inning number 6 when we come back with your score. It is Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 5.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
So it will be Tanner Matthew remaining on the mound after he started this game, went to third base, came back in to pitch in the last half inning, getting a fielder's choice ground out and a strikeout to end the inning, holding the Blue Crabs to just the 2 runs as they stranded 2 more base runners. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 base runners stranded so far for Smithsburg, and 2, 4, 6, 8. Can that be possible? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the 10 have been left in scoring position at either second or third.
Right.
They left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, and that runner at first was the only time they have left a runner at first. All of the others have been at either second or third, so they have certainly missed some opportunities. We get the top of the 6th inning started, top of the order at the plate, and it's Matthew Walker taking ball 1.
And the Battlers outfield is now Landon Wallace in left, Chase Herndon in center, and Jackson Engel is in right field.
Here's the pitch, taken for a strike. Walker has struck out and has walked, gave way to JoJo Miller, who hit in the 4th inning and struck out. That was when JoJo was on the mound. Walker back out there defensively as JoJo Miller left the mound, and now the 1-1 pitch due in what will be his third at bat, and it's outside and low. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you notice when these guys are missing, they're not missing close. But when they throw strikes, they do pretty good. They're thrown over the middle of the plate.
And this one fouled straight back into the top of the press box above us as the count goes to 2-2. I was thinking that one might go through the window above us and come into the press box.
It hit the facing just above the window.
Yes.
I was on it.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Walker. Peterson and then Johnston due next in this top of the 6th inning for the Blue Crabs. Off-speed pitch. Nice job by Walker as he's able to get the bat on the ball, foul it away, and he'll see another 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, that's a good protect swing. Foul it off, live to another day. Look for a better pitch.
This is the backyard brawl, and we were shown earlier as we got up here to the press box. They do have a bat trophy that will be passed back and forth, I guess, each year when they play this particular game. Pitch to the plate missing on the 2-2. It's full 3-2 to Walker. It's a pretty nice looking wooden bat that has some various writing on it, representing the trophy for this backyard brawl. Here comes that 3-2, lifted in the air into straightaway center field. Nice play as the center fielder comes in and makes that grab.
And he took one step and he was there. I was talking to Coach John Lowry Jr. at the Hedgesville game the other night, and because he had theories about, they talked to my son and his teams about pitches. I mean, with the 80 pitch thing that we talked about before, wearing hitters down. He also thinks that he's been watching, and he thinks the teams that foul off the most 2-strike pitches are the most likely to win.
Pitch down and in as Peterson gets his feet out of the way of ball 1. I could see that.
And that's because they're fouling off the bad pitches, and eventually a pitcher's going to make a mistake, and that's what they hit.
Also, I'm sure that gets that pitch count up a little more as well.
Oh, it does. You get a pitcher up around 20 pitches in an inning, and he starts to get tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Peterson awaits that 1-0, and he lifts it in the air out into right field. Right fielder moving in on that one, and he will reach up to make the play. So a pair of fly ball outs, 1 to center, 1 to right, 2 up, 2 down in this top of the 6th. Ryder Johnston to the plate. 4th at bat for him, has reached on a 3rd strike wild pitch and error, has walked, and last time up struck out.
And Ryder Johnson's got that open stance, but his foot's about a foot up from the back line.
Matthew misses high and tight with ball 1 to Johnston. Outfield playing pretty well straight away, although the right fielder a little towards the line. So a nice gap in right center. Pitch down low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
And Johnson's bringing that front foot, closing off, bringing the front foot in towards home plate. Difference in how people are being taught to hit them than when I was a kid.
Foul ball on the 2-0 goes to the backstop just to our right. 2 balls and a strike.
I saw an old Ted Williams video on hitting, and Ted didn't like hitting way in the back of the standing in the back of the box because it gave too much time for the ball to break, and he didn't like being up on top of the plate because it gave you trouble with the inside pitch. And he was pretty much squared off with the pitcher.
2-1 on the way, taken for a strike, now 2-2. Good looking pitch there.
Yeah, it was.
From Matthew. 1-0 West Virginia has a lead on Texas Tech in the must-win game to advance to the Big 12 Tournament Championship game. That is in the 5th inning.
Who's pitching for him?
2-2 up and in, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see. I'll have to see if I can pull up a box. That's just team totals. Give me a few and I'll see if I can get there. Bo Lowry pitched to a couple of batters in the earlier game in which Texas Tech beat West Virginia 10-3 to force this decisive game tonight. Well, Johnston taking on the 3-2. It's a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. And for the first time in this ball game for either side, we have a 3-up and 3-down inning. Nice job by Tanner Matthew, a pair of flyouts and then the strikeout. And we will go to the bottom half of inning number 6 as the score remains Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 5. 15.
Procter & Gamble brands are trusted in millions of living rooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, and bathrooms. P&G's Tabler Station plant in Martinsburg, West Virginia, is open and hiring. Candidates must be 18 years or older and possess a high school diploma or GED. No experience necessary. P&G offers an extensive list of benefits and starting wage of $17.50 an hour. To apply, go to pgcareers.com and search Plant Technicians, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Be part of P&G's most technologically advanced location in the world.
We only make home loans, so we better be good at it. And we are. It's that simple. With our focus solely on mortgage lending, you can come to us with peace of mind knowing that your mortgage loan is in good hands. As one of the nation's largest private lenders, our focus is on helping you get into your new home.
Gary, I am efforting the box score and can't quite seem to get that to pop open right now. So I can't tell you who's throwing for the Mountaineers, but I can tell you they've got a 1-0 lead, and it looks like they're in the 5th inning in that game at Oklahoma City. Well, here we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. Jared Custer getting it started, taking ball 1 down low and outside. On the hill, Isaac Grove, 4th pitcher of the ball game for Smithsburg. Faced one batter in that 5th inning and got the ground out right fielder to first baseman. Not often you see that.
And a heck of a play by the right fielder. I'm really impressed by that.
And the pitch down low and outside in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
I'm glad to hear Bo Lowry's getting some time on the mound down there. He's a really nice kid.
Just a freshman.
Yeah, he pitched for us a little bit last year when he was rehabbing, and he threw a perfect game against the Cumberland Orioles for us.
Swing and a miss at the 2-0, now 2-1 to Custer. Are you able to get him for the Blue Sox this summer?
I'm hoping we'll be able to get him for a couple starts towards the end of the season.
Tanner Matthew, Mason Everhart due next in the home half of inning number 6. Game scheduled to go 7, so right now the job of Grove is to make sure the deficit does not grow as the 2-1 misses low and outside, 3 balls and a strike. As right now, that deficit holds at 3 runs, 8-5.
I think Bo's going to start out in a Valley League once college is over.
3-1, a nice swing pitch. And a miss, 3-2.
He threw that by him.
That he did. Kept it down low, too. Custer 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
He's having a really tough night tonight.
2 swinging, 1 looking. Came in hitting .444 with just a couple of strikeouts. So hadn't had a night like this all season as he fouls the 3-2 back out of play as the count holds.
Well, baseball is a humbling game.
Oh, yes, it is.
One day you're 4 for 4, and the next month you're 0 for 20.
How about one game of a doubleheader to the next?
Yeah.
Again, the payoff pitch due. Grove is ready, lifts the leg, and the delivery popped foul again back towards us. And that one getting into the netting just below the press box.
This is easily Custer's best at bat of the ball game.
Yes, it'll be the 8th pitch of the at bat,
which is twice as many pitches as he's seen in any of his other at bats.
Grove takes the walk around the first base side of the mound to the back of the mound. Now walks up the slope, toes the pitching rubber, looks in at his catcher, and is ready with the payoff pitch. 3-2 delivery. Missed high, ball 4. Custer draws the base on balls. Tanner Matthew making his way to the plate. He has walked, has flied out to center, and last time up, delivered an RBI single up the middle. Custer with his lead. Held on by Horst over at first. There's a throw over, sends him back in on the dive.
He's leaning just a little bit.
Yes. You saw that too.
I did. Even without the binoculars. Well, he's got 16 stolen bases on the year, been thrown out once, but not a big lead here. It's half a step.
Yeah. See if he takes any more. Nope, he stays, and hang on, we've got a balk. Our third balk of the day, as again we get a pitcher that just goes too quickly. And now we're going to have Dean Peterson out, wanting to talk with our base umpire.
Oh, Peterson thinks he came to us. Oh, the umpire's signaling that instead of coming to a stop, after he came to the stop, then he jiggled, and that's the balk. Because after you come to the stop, you got to throw. You can't do that second jiggle.
Right. So almost like he's bouncing just a little bit while being on the mound. Conversation continues between umpire and head coach.
Well, Coach Peterson, he played pro ball. He knows what a balk is.
I was going to say, he should know. Think any umpire ever just looks at him and says, when he's had enough, just says Vlad Guerrero? Do you think?
I don't think so.
I'm just asking. Asking.
Because here's the thing. Coach Peterson got to pitch against Vlad Guerrero.
There you go. Something that none of us have had that opportunity or will ever have that opportunity to do. So here we go with action back underway and a pitch to the plate, and that is in there for a strike. So Tanner Matthew now batting with a runner in scoring position at second.
And Grove's going to get in trouble with this. He's nodding his head now. Comes set, but he's moving his head up and down. And that could get him in trouble for that, too. See if he does it again. See?
Yeah?
It's not much, but it's like he's counting.
Well, he turns and throws to second, and they picked him off at second base as Jared Custer was off too far. The second baseman ducking over, pulls in the throw, and applies the tag.
You know, and that may have been a counting mechanism for the throw back.
The pickoff goes 1-4. One down in the inning. Base is now empty as Matthew will step back in the right-hand batter's box and await the 0-1 pitch.
Big out for them. Takes a runner off scoring position.
Now Matthew will try to get something started again for Little Falls. Right now with a 3-run lead, and what they hope is their final at bat. Top of the 7th coming up as we get an 0-1 pitch bounced foul third base side. And in that top of the 7th inning, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters that will be due for the Blue Crabs. And for starting and relieving pitcher Tanner Matthew, we would have him right around 79 pitches, and he can throw up to, 95.
You know, Grove isn't just deliberate thrown out there. He's close to meditative.
Yes. Now he can go back to the full windup. He seems more comfortable, obviously, from the windup as Matthew steps out, and now Grove's not going to go from the windup. So he had stood there as though he might go from the windup, and now goes back to the stretch even with nobody on. 0-2 on the way, misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, there are a number of pitchers that do, particularly relief pitchers, just pitch all the time out of the stretch.
Fewer mechanics to go wrong, right?
Yeah, that's part of the argument. And particularly with relief pitchers, they're more likely to have come in with runners on base. It means that they're not adjusting from the windup to the stretch.
The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss.
That looked like just a slow little curve, didn't it?
Yep, a little curve right at the end, and that strikeout. The first for Grove. 2 outs in the inning, base is empty, and here comes Mason Everhart. Texas Tech, the home team in the matchup, batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. With still a 1-0 West Virginia lead as Mountaineers plated a run in the 3rd. Here comes the pitch high to Everhart for ball 1. Should West Virginia win that game tomorrow, we would have the Big 12 championship game with West Virginia involved on the Learfield IMG College Sports Network And that would begin with a 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock the scheduled first pitch. The 1-0, here it comes. Swing and a foul ball, third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Everhart. That ball bounces off the fencing and out into shallow left near the line where the left fielder ranges over to scoop it up.
Well, Everhart hasn't had a hit tonight, but that sac bunt he put down with the bases loaded played a big part in their big inning.
Yeah, that was a suicide squeeze in that fourth as the runner was 3/4 of the way down the line before that pitch got to the plate and the bunt was laid down. No safety squeeze. If he doesn't get it down, there's probably an out at the plate.
Yep.
Now that 1-1, here it comes just off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
And Mason stands in the box about like I remember Justin Everhart standing. His stance is closed, not all the way back in the box, but a little bit back. Justin was a hitter.
2-1, down low. Had the outside corner, but could not get it up, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Has some of the same mannerisms, too. It's pretty neat because I get Steve with his son and his grandson out there.
3-1 pitch to the plate, a strike on the outside corner. Everhart had started down the line thinking it was ball 4, but now he'll step back in again.
Yeah, it was one of those things where umpire may have half called that because he was running before the call.
And now the 3-2. Grove bounces a little bit, now delivers the pitch, and that fastball's high, and there's ball 4. So he just had to wait 1 more pitch.
The home umpire does something that drives me nuts as coaching, and that is for a base on balls, he has his right hand go up towards first base. And the problem with that is that I've seen kids where they're not used to the umpire doing that, to place umpire, run around third base, 2 outs, he sees the hand go up, umpire signaling a walk, the runner on third base thinks it's strike 3.
Right.
Wanders off the base and gets picked off. We got a pinch runner out there.
We do. Jacob Kendall, who started the game in right field in the number 9 spot in the order.
Man, I didn't think they could do that either.
Assuming he's serving us a courtesy runner as the catcher Everhart can then go get his gear on.
That may be.
Throw over. Sends the runner back. Tyler Cover to the plate. He has popped out to the pitcher, reached on an error and scored, and bounced out to the second baseman, 0 for 3. Takes a pitch. Just high, ball 1. So Grove has walked a batter who eventually he picked off at second, has struck out a batter, and then has issued yet another walk. Walks have been the story in this game for both teams. Not a lot of hitting.
Big lead over at first base.
Grove ready, and the pitch. Foul tip hung on to for strike 1, 1-1. Landon Wallace would be due next. Should Cover find a way to reach. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Isaac Grove fans chanting, let's go Isaac down there.
Here comes that pitch. Oh, swing and a miss helped him out.
Yeah, that was up his eyebrows.
Yeah. Bill of the cap maybe slightly higher. So the count now 1-2. Right now it's a 3-run lead for the Battlers. Out in front 8-5. Looking for some insurance with 2 outs and a runner at first here in the bottom of the 6th inning game, scheduled to go 7.
Kendall with a big lead over at first base.
1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Cover down on strikes, and the side is retired. A pair of Ks to go along with a pair of walks in the inning for Isaac Grove. And the 1 runner picked off, the other left at first base. 6 innings in the book. We are going to the 7th and final inning of regulation in this last at bat. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due for Smithsburg. With your score, Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 5.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Through 6 innings for the Smithsburg Blue Crabs. They've put 5 runs on the board on 3 hits, committing 4 errors, leaving 10, 9 of those in scoring position. For Little Falls, 8 runs on 2 hits with 3 errors. They've left 7, 4 in scoring position. Did you get that? 13 runs have scored on just 5 hits, but you are looking at least 10 walks by each team to go along with 1 hit batter for Little Falls. So you're talking 21 free base runners, and the teams have been able to take advantage.
And that the walk totals are not typical of these two teams. I mean, coming in, the Ballard's only given up 4.3 walks per game, and the Blue Crabs are only giving up 5.3 walks per game. So that's.
Well, Nick Horst getting the 7th inning underway out of the number 4 spot in the order takes a called strike 1. Matthew to the plate, and Tanner's pitch down low bounces away from Everhart. Count now at 1-1. It was the 5th inning when he drew a base on balls, gave way to the pinch runner Gertz, who came around to score. Otherwise, Horst 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts to go along with that walk. He takes this pitch that misses high. 2 balls and a strike.
And Horst was a fairly extreme open stance.
Yeah.
Starts square, and then the foot goes all the way back to the outside line of the box.
Now that 2-1, down low and outside, 3-1. Right now that lead at 3. You hate to put the lead off on. Love to retire that first batter. Let's see if Tanner Matthew can battle back.
That's a sin to walk a first hitter in this situation.
Oh, there is a strike. Horst seemed like he might be ready to throw that bat aside and take off for first, but turned to look back at the umpire before letting the bat go. It was a strike, and now the 3-2 is due. Matthew is ready, and that 3-2 delivery, a swing and a miss.
Horst a little anxious there. That looked up and in.
Yep, 3 Ks in the return for Matthew. He's got 8 in the ball game. Remember, he worked the first 2 and a third innings, then gave way to Chase Herndon, who worked 2. And then Tanner Matthew came back in and is trying to close it out.
Been much more effective on his return engagement, too.
First pitch to Peterson, outside and low, ball 1. Ryan Peterson has struck out and then walked twice. Came around to score after walking in the 5th inning. A 2-run 5th for the Blue Crabs. He'll step out of the box, and Tanner Matthew steps off the pitching rubber.
Since coming back in, he's retired all 6 hitters he's faced.
Yeah, fielder's choice, a strikeout, a couple of flyouts, and 2 more strikeouts. Good off-speed pitch, just missed. 2 balls, no strikes.
Maybe just a little more loose playing this late in the game. Who knows?
This pitch off that outside edge. Count has gone 3-0. We would have that as 9 pitches now in this half inning. So he's inching ever closer to that max limit. We'll see who Steve Everhart goes to try to close it out. If Matthew cannot swing and a miss at the 3-0, we'd have 3-1 to Peterson.
Well, you don't often see a green light 3-0 at this level.
Probably would have been a strike, but 3-1, swing and a miss. It's a full count now, 3-2.
Still, you're down 3.
Yeah.
You need a base runner.
You got to try to get to Tanner Matthew any way you can, as you said. He's retired all of the batters he's faced since coming back in. Well, that is until now. 3-2 pitch up and in. Peterson draws the walk with one down. There is a base runner. As we get a quick conference, Mason Everhart, the catcher, out to talk with the pitcher. See if Peterson is in motion at first. Isaac Grove is the batter. Grove has popped out to short twice and has grounded out to short once and drove home a run with that RBI ground out last time up in the 5th.
Well, coming into this game, Brian Peterson had 22 stolen bases, got thrown out once, and he's been 2 for 2 so far tonight. So they may have him try and do that, stay out of the double play, even though they're down 3. He's showing bunt. Oh, it's just let him steal.
Yep, as the pitch to the plate is a strike, and the runner on the move does steal the base without the benefit of a throw. So Peterson puts himself in scoring position. Got to get more than just him across, though, as right now the lead 8-5 for the Battlers. Here's a ground ball past the pitcher, shortstop charging. Compton has it.
Oh, no.
He's going to throw to the plate and throw high. The runner will reach at first. That's Grove. He's going to go to second on the throw through to the plate. And that'll be a fielder's choice and an error.
And that's a young player's mistake, because the run meant nothing. You need the out here. And that's just because he's a kid. 12, 13 years old.
Yep.
And overthought it.
So that will bring to the plate Caleb Barnes, who will swing through. Strike one. Barnes has walked each of the 2 times that he has been up since coming in to spell Lucas Ward. Barnes walked in the 4th and scored, walked in the 5th and was left at 3rd. Swings and misses at the 0-1 now, 0-2. You got to understand, in that situation, you will trade the run for the out, as opposed to the run scoring and not getting an out. Now you've got a runner in scoring position with just one away, and the 0-2 pitch Barnes spoils, fouls it out of play first base side.
And when Compton came up with the ball, he looked home. He didn't look to first base.
Right.
He just looked home. And then airmailed it.
8-6. Little Falls lead at 2 runs with a run in scoring position. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Big strikeouts. Strikeout number 4 since coming back in. Strikeout number 9 in all for Tanner Matthew, and I think he's reached his pitch limit.
Yeah, I get 95. All right, 79-16.
Yep. I actually have 18 listed on my sheet, so he can go over to finish out a batter. So he will reach that 95 pitch plateau.
Well, Everhart hasn't taken the ball from him yet. Imagine one of the things he's telling him is that the run doesn't matter. Get the out.
Well, apparently.
He's leaving him in. That. All right, I give up on the rules.
So you said you had read that online.
I did.
You know what they say. Can't believe everything you read online.
I think Abe Lincoln said that.
That's what I read online. Or you read online. All right, it brings to the plate Henry Ortiz. Number 8 hitter in the order has doubled, popped out to the pitcher, and been hit by a pitch. And the first pitch from Tanner Matthew, high, ball 1.
Now, I read that off the Babe Ruth League website. Maybe this league has just opted for something different. I don't know.
Here comes that 1-0 delivery. Hard hit ball back up the middle. Compton, the shortstop, has it. He'll make his throw to first. And did they get him? No, they didn't. The first baseman did not have his foot on the bag.
And now he's not paying attention and a runner scores.
Yep, the runner comes home from third on the play as time had not been called.
He's not paying attention. Nobody at second base.
Well, now they throw to the second baseman covering. Diving in goes Ortiz.
And there's nobody at third base. There he goes.
Oh, but now they will throw to the third baseman. Did they get him? Yes, they did get him to end the ball game. What an unusual way for a game to end. as we get an E3 that allows a run to score that draws Smithsburg within a run at 8-7, and then Ortiz, who went to second and managed to get in there with nobody covering, then tried to get to third with nobody covering, but Custer was able to get back in time, take the throw, and apply the tag as Ortiz tried to get around him. Ultimately, the final out of the ball game occurs at third base. With the 2 runs scoring, the Blue Crabs climbed within a run, but the rally falls short as Little Falls gets the win by the final of 8-7, and they will claim the Backyard Brawl baseball bat trophy.
You know, Ortiz was over there staying on second base. I think he wanted him to call New York for the replay.
All right, so how do you want to mark that? That goes 6-3 to 4-5 to eventually get the out at third base, correct?
Did you get the 3 at the beginning?
Well, I got the 6-3, and then the 3 throws to 4, and then the 4 throws to 5 to eventually apply the tag. All right.
I've never seen that before.
Let's take a 1-minute timeout, and then we will come back to wrap this one up on this Saturday night as the teams shaking hands, and now we'll gather as the team for Smithsburg down the left field line, and over in front of the third base dugout, the Battlers, as they get ready to receive the bat trophy as the champions of the first Backyard Brawl between the 2 teams. All right, a 1-minute timeout, and then we return to Municipal Stadium with your final score: Little Falls 8 and Smithsburg 7. Oh, my goodness. Right.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Procter & Gamble brands are trusted in millions of living rooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, and bathrooms. P&G's Tabler Station plant in Martinsburg, West Virginia, is open and hiring. Candidates must be 18 years or older and possess a high school diploma or GED. No experience necessary. P&G offers an extensive list of benefits and starting wage of $17.50 an hour. To apply, go to pgcareers.com and search Plant Technicians, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Be part of P&G's most technologically advanced location in the world.
Well, we are back one final time here at Municipal Stadium on this Saturday evening, putting the finishing touches on this one. Along with Gary Gefford, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton running our TV10, camera Patrick Feely back at the studio. Now let's recap the scoring in this one as Smithsburg took the 1-0 lead in the top half of the second inning with 2 outs. It was a double from Ortiz and then an RBI single from Githens to bring in the run. It stayed 1-0 till the Battlers put 3 on the board in the bottom of the third. Did it on just 1 hit, an RBI single from Jackson Engel. The first 2 batters in the half inning, that was Herndon and Kendall, reached on walks and came home to score on the same error. Compton then walked and came home to score on the single by Engel, and that made it 3-1 Battlers. The Blue Crabs would tie it at 3 with 2 runs in the top half of inning number 4. And they were able to plate those 2 runs with a leadoff walk to Caleb Barnes. 1 out later, a bunt base hit laid down by Githens. There was a base on balls and then a wild pitch that helped to score 1 run, and then a wild pitch scored the second run. That tied the game up at 3, but the Battlers responded with 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning and did it with, again, just 1 base hit. There were 3 errors for the Blue Crabs. Had 3 walks in there as well. It was Cover that scored, Wallace that scored, Martin that scored, Herndon that scored, Compton that scored. In the inning, the lone hit, the Tanner Matthew RBI single. That would make it 8-3. A couple of runs would score in the top of the 5th inning for the Blue Crabs as it would be Nick Hurst who reached, and then Jack Gertz served as a pinch runner and came around to score. Ryan Peterson drew a base on balls, and it came around to score as well. Grove had an RBI ground out, and the other run scored on a wild pitch. And then in the 7th inning, 2 runs scoring as a result of a fielder's choice and 2 errors. And the final out recorded at third base in an unusual sequence as the play went 6-3 to 4-5 as Ortiz reached at first on an error when the first baseman just simply wasn't standing on the bag. And by the time he got the foot on the bag, the umpire deemed that the runner beat him there. And then with nobody covering second, Ortiz somehow managed to get in around a would-be tag of a fielder trying to get to second base. Then went to third when he didn't see anybody covering there, and eventually Little Falls got the ball to the third baseman to apply the tag and end the game.
Yeah, it was a wild end to a game that was characterized by wild pitching.
Yes.
I think is and unusual for that, and it's the lack of the bases on balls that given up by these teams. It's unusual. They just had not had that coming into this game. Of course, the other part that's unusual is the game went 7 innings. And while that's been true for most of the games they've played against each other, it has not been true when these teams have been playing other teams, particularly other league teams. They've blown away the other teams in the league.
Well, Gary, let's wrap it up with final numbers from this one for Little Falls. 8 runs on just 2 hits. They commit 3 errors, strand 7 base runners, leaving 4 in scoring position. Smithsburg, 7 runs on just 3 hits. They committed 5 errors, stranded 10 base runners, leaving 9 in scoring position. Matthew will get the win. Miller will take the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours and 48 minutes. They even their season series at 2 wins apiece, with 1 more meeting between the 2 teams. That'll be at Spring Mills High School on June the 12th. The Blue Crabs fall to 16-7-1 on the season, while the Battlers improve to 11-5.
And Tyler Matthew he did okay starting. I mean, he had a little trouble, but when he came back, he was lights out. Remember what, he get 5 outs that last inning?
Yeah, just about.
And he came back in, pitched really well, did the job they needed to do, shut down the Blue Crabs. The runs that scored were not his fault. They scored after he got out. The infield just wasn't able to do its job, and that's part of what happens at baseball at this age.
Well, with your final here, 8-7, we wrap up our broadcast, reminding you that coming up tomorrow, we hope to have West Virginia Mountaineer baseball in the championship of the Big 12 Conference Tournament. Bottom of the 6th inning, Texas Tech is batting, and West Virginia now has a 2-0 lead as the Mountaineers scored a run in the 3rd and a run in the 6th. So they are trying to hold on and get to that championship game where they will have a chance to face either TCU or Oklahoma State. That game tomorrow would be at 2 o'clock in the pregame at 1:45. If the Mountaineers do not hold on in that one, we would have Washington Nationals baseball coming your way tomorrow with the pregame show right around 12:30 and the first pitch at 1:05. Well, special thanks to all of those involved with these 2 Babe Ruth systems for their help and support and their hospitality, having us here for the broadcast. Casey Walker for Smithsburg, and thanks to Jim and Jen Presley, as well as both head coaches, Dean Peterson of Smithsburg, Steve Everhart, along with the Presleys for Little Falls. Thanks to John Kosas, all the staff and folks here at Municipal Stadium with the Hagerstown Suns, having us here for the broadcast as well. For John Alderton, our TV 10 cameraman, for Patrick Feely back at the studio, for my partner Gary Gefford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you our final in this one. The backyard brawl goes to Little Falls out of Spring Mills, West Virginia. They beat Smithsburg by a final of 8-7. Until next time, so long, everyone.